And we're live, all right. As you can see, I've done some tweaks to the stream, so hopefully it's pretty good. First off, can I start with an audio check, please? Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. This ain't gonna be good if you can't hear me. I already got some activity in chat here. Harry Moody Reaction says, "We did it, lads. 750,000 more, and Bob's your uncle." That's true. Because I believe at 1,000,000 people in a group, you are assigned an uncle named Bob. I believe that's how it works. Bobs are standing by, ready to take your call. So again, if I could get an audio check in chat, just let me know. Can you hear me? Otherwise, this is going to be a very uninteresting stream for all of you. Elvis dropped a... Oh, hold on here. He dropped a YouTube emoji, but Elvis is not a mod in chat. Let's correct that right now. Boom. Let's see here. Nice beard. Thank you. Can you hear me? Sounds and looks good. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Lots of Limitless Edit says, hey. Elvis gives the thumbs up 5 times over. Oh, maybe that was for the audio check. Limitless Edits right off the bat says, can you review me? Well, you know what? I think I can. Yeah, I'm as you may have noticed, there are some changes. I've made some slight upgrades to the stream here, which is very exciting for me. So just up here, I've actually added a little chat window so you can see the chat go by in real time. I felt that was largely lost real estate in the stream just because it was like some YouTube settings and stuff. So there is some chat you can watch in real time. I'm still fairly notorious for not reading chat in real time, so brace yourselves. That doesn't likely change that too terribly much. And I've got my little scrolling text up there so you can see all the different places that Small YouTubers Boost is trying to make a difference in helping small YouTubers succeed on the platform. So those are a couple fancy things that I just recently learned about for OBS, and so I threw in there for fun. And you might notice... Can you believe this? Okay, not too long ago, I'm reaching for a prop. Not too long ago, we had the 200,000 member celebratory live stream, and that went very, very well. That was a whole lot of fun. And you might remember at the beginning of that, I blew up 2 balloons. One of them is still alive. Look at that. You can't, let me see if you can see. Yeah, you probably can't see that too well. I don't think it's reading very well, but there was a 200K written on that. And the balloon still lives, and oh, well, whatever. We're already at 250. That is insane. Now, they didn't have a K when we went shopping for balloons. I actually didn't go shopping. Somebody got them for me, which was very nice of them. And they went looking for a K, but there were no Ks. So 250, and you can just imagine 3 more zeros or a K. Our budget is very small. We paid for 3 balloons for this live stream. That's sort of the extent of our budget for this. But no, it's really exciting. And one of the things I suppose I should address early on, just because this is the celebratory for the 250,000, which is like, that is a number that I just can't wrap my head around. One of the things that people often sort of accuse me of is like being all about the numbers. And I mean, in YouTube or in business, anything you want to take seriously, you need to know your numbers. In order for other people to take you very seriously. A special K. Do I have special K? Oh, I don't. Now I really wish I had special K. I would have put the cereal there. That would have been perfect. But anyways, the thing is, keeping track of the numbers, they're arbitrary. A 250,000 is an arbitrary number that just kind of picked out of a hat. In fact, we have a group for the moderators of the Facebook group, and I actually asked, like, hey guys, do we want to do something special for 250,000 or wait for 300K? And everyone was like, no, 250,000's amazing. I'm like, okay, fine. And so it gives me an excuse to do a live stream like this, do some channel reviews. Don't worry, yours is coming up. And things like that. But the other thing about sort of the numbers is that our group sometimes grows at some astronomical rates. We've had a brief period actually earlier this year where the group is in decline. We were losing about 100 members a day for a while there, for about a couple weeks. And so that was kind of weird. I was like, oh, what's wrong? But we've also had insane periods of growth. Even like a couple years ago, there was this like a fortnight where every day we got 1,000 people. Now, thanks to a certain malady that shall not be named, we've been experiencing some insane growth lately, upwards of 2,500 people a day. And so we've been trying to manage that. And over the last week, I've slowed down the acceptance so that we could tidy up our Facebook group a little bit. we got things tidy, so here we are, ready to sort of reopen our doors. And so we've now let we now have over 250,000 people in the group, and that's amazing. And one of the things is I actually have some direct contact with some Facebook staff. And the Facebook staff said to me, they said, you know, we want you to welcome every 100 to 300 members that join your group. It's a best practice. It's something that we like, you know, as Facebook, that's something that they want people to do to create the right kind of atmosphere that's welcoming and things like that. And I'm totally for that. But at a rate of growth of 2,500 people per day, welcoming people every 300 people, I would have to have 8 welcome posts every day, and that's a little insane. So as sort of a compromise, I said I will have a welcome post every 1,000 people. And one of the reasons that that's in place is it's just to remind me to take the time to welcome people into the group. And it serves a couple of purposes. For one thing, it sort of lets them know that the administration of the group is active. There are a lot of sort of zombie Facebook groups out there where they're not really being tended to. Ours is not one of those. And it also serves as like a nice lightning rod for a couple of things. One, for people who want to complain about me, because they do. People who have simple questions about the group. And also people who break the rules often, like they'll do that because that's one of the first posts they see. And so it serves as a lightning rod so that I get that, and then I and my mod team can deal with it instead of it happening to your posts. So people are like, oh, Ray only cares about the numbers. No, it's just, it was sort of a negotiated thing with Facebook. It's a reminder to me to take the time to welcome people, and it serves as a lightning rod. Those are just 3 reasons why we do that. And so, I mean, the numbers are just numbers. They're arbitrary. But at the same time, every one of those is a person. Every one of those is a person who's trying to succeed at YouTube. And so they're coming to our group looking for opportunities to learn, to support other people, to find support, to find collaboration, to commiserate when things are difficult, to celebrate when things are amazing, and so many other different purposes. Now, some of them come with nefarious intent, and we get rid of those as efficiently and as fairly as we can do. And so it's this weird dichotomy because, like, the numbers are mind-blowing, and they're people. And so if I ignore the numbers, I'm kind of ignoring the people. Those are just some thoughts about that. One thing, actually, it's funny that you mentioned it in chat. I was actually going to mention this anyways. I do want to give a shout out to Stupid Robot Fighting League. Their Kickstarter got 100% funded. I think, was it today or yesterday it reached its goal? So congratulations there. They've been a hugely important member of the group, a huge supporter of mine personally in the group in general, and I can't say enough good things about them, so I do recommend you check them out. But maybe not right now because we're going to get into some YouTube stuff. So before I get too far afield, I do have already my first channel review request. So that was Limitless Edits. Now, I am making a modification because of everything that's going on and increased volumes and things like that. I'm going to, and people have asked me to do this for well, I guess years now, which is mind-blowing also all on its own. When I would do a channel review, I would do a deep dive that would last 45 to 60 minutes. And people were like, that is too long. I respectfully, not always super politely, disagreed because I wanted to do a deep dive and I felt that everyone would benefit from watching it, even if it wasn't their channel. And so they kept saying, oh, you should cut it to like 15, 10 minutes, whatever. You should try to do as many as possible. But if I do as many as possible, I'm not going to get very deep and it's not going to be super useful. So what I'm going to do is limit myself to 30 minutes. As sort of a compromise. Now, if you want a more in-depth channel review of 45 to 60 minutes, there will be a paid option. It's the only way I can manage the demand. People are asking for this all the time. So reach out to me either on Facebook or Twitter if you want to make an arrangement for a paid review, in which case I'll give you 45 to 60 minutes review. It'll be in a video that I'll post on this channel, so you get a little exposure, but more importantly, you can go back and watch it as many times as you want. Other people can potentially learn from it, and so that's there. And sort of the guarantee that I make is, yeah, 45 minutes minimum, depending on the state of your channel. If it's a very new, very small channel, I might not have a lot to chew on, but I can probably do 45 minutes, no problem. But I will also give you concrete action items that you could go and do, like, basically that day. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's fine. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go chronologically in chat, and if people do want to review or have a question or something else, I'll do my best to answer. But I'm going to limit myself to half an hour per channel review, which is still quite a lot of time, I think. So hopefully we can get a good dive in that amount of time. It is summer, so I'm going to turn on my fan. My fan is connected to my smart home, so I'm going to mute the mic for a second. I'm going to issue some verbal commands to my smartphone, or my smart home, so I don't activate yours, and then we'll dive into the review so I don't get all sweaty. Just one moment. There we go. So I have activated my fan. That might cause some background noise, and I don't know. Deal with it. Let me know if it's a serious problem. So, anyways, okay. So the first person in chat who asked for a review is Limitless Edits. So let's go in and do that right away. So it's interesting here. Yeah, yours is the triangle. It looks a little bit like the EA logo, but not quite. Okay. So when I search your channel name, I've got my TUBEBUDDY browser plugin installed over here. So that's just giving me some information about the searchability of your name. It comes up as fair, which is okay. But for channel names, it's difficult to do very well in that metric. So don't stress about that too much. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to approach your channel. I should start the clock here, starting the clock now. I'm going to try and approach your channel from a very specific way. And that is somebody who doesn't know your channel, but has searched the name for some reason. Let's say we met at a convention. You said, hey, check out my YouTube channel, Limitless Edits. Let's imagine that that's the experience I'm going from. Now, this is probably not common, and there's a reason behind that, and that's because we often think about the other methods. This is a unique look that I think a lot of YouTubers forget about. And so I tried, this is why this is my approach. So, and I want to go in blind. I want to go in knowing just nothing about your channel, veil of ignorance, whatever you want to call it, and then figure it out as I go and give feedback as I go. That's sort of my process. So I searched your channel name, and your channel did come up as the 4th result. So you could be owning your channel name from an SEO standpoint a little bit better. So there's that, just right off the bat. Looking at some of the things you're competing with, I would say in terms of logos, your logo and the other logo are both professional looking for this other channel that came up first. However, your logo, yeah, like I said, it's a triangle that reminds me of the EA logo for whatever reason. That's Electronic Arts in sort of the gaming space. So that is a little tricky just because I think the other channel's logo is a little bit more effective just because I can read Limitless on it very well. But that having been said, I really like your background image. So when we're looking at our profile picture on YouTube, we want to accomplish a lot of things and we don't have a lot of space to do it in. As much as possible, it would be great if you can communicate what your channel is about and entice people to click on it. Is really good. And frankly, neither of the channel logos here I'm seeing are actually doing that. Now, while you're wanting to do those things, you also want it to look good. Both of these look good. And so, me personally, neither entices me to click, and neither tells me what the channel is about. But that is incredibly hard to do. So I don't want you to think that this is harsh criticism. There are some incredibly successful channels out there that don't do this one thing. And so I'm just saying that if at some point you come to a point where you want to redesign your logo, I want to redesign my Vacation Impossible logo again. One of the things you want to think about is that. Does it entice people to click? Does it look professional and appealing? And does it tell people about my channel, what it's about? It's hard to do. If you can hit like 2 of those 3, then you're doing very well for your logo. One thing that people don't really think about, and I've only had my mind open to this over the last 6 months or so, maybe 9 months, is sort of the psychology of colors, which is a little weird, I know, but it's interesting that both of these chose blue as sort of the primary color of their logo. Blue is generally associated with trust. And alternatively, red, which you notice is very popular in YouTube, the subscribe button, the logo and everything, red is often associated with excitement, which is interesting to think about. And so if any of you are at a point where you're thinking about the color scheme behind your channel, I know we had a really good thread in our Facebook group recently talking about the color schemes of channels. I didn't have much time in it because I'm busy all the time, but it's a really interesting topic, I think. And so if you want to evoke excitement, then go red. If you want to evoke trust, go for blue. And so let's think about this for just one quick second. Think about airlines. Airlines have a lot of blue logos. If you think about United and WestJet and things like that. And so with airlines, for people's anxiety and various, issues in the news and things that they've had even before the virus that shall not be named, trust was incredibly important with airlines. And so you'll see a lot of blues very popular. And you will see the occasional red, like Air Canada, partly because it's part of the Canadian flag colors, but also I think because the excitement of travel. And so there's certain emotions that you kind of can tap into sort of subconsciously by your color selection, which is something to think about. And so I'm looking at these two channels, and I'm not sure if either of them have put that thought into it, but it makes me think they want trust. And so trust, if you're like a product review channel, very important. Because you would want people to trust your recommendations and that your opinions are honest and things like that. Whereas if you are trying to excite people to do something, like, you know, if you're an extreme sports thing or a travel channel or something like that, red might be a direction you might want to go in to get that sense of energetic excitement. So it's interesting things to think about. You can very easily Google like the psychology of colors and logos and stuff and lots of things like that. You know, Coca-Cola wants you to be excited. Pepsi kind of wants you to trust them. Maybe. I don't know. If they thought about it from that point of view. So that's anyways, that's just something interesting. And so there's a couple things just looking at these two channels, because if you can own your name, you're gonna have an important head start. It's an important thing. If people want to find you, let's make it as easy as possible to find you, right? So one of the ways that you can own your name more is actually put it in the description of the channel. And that will help you with what I call keyword alignment, which is an aspect of SEO, search engine optimization. And so I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do a comparison of these two channels as they're displaying here to see where the advantages and disadvantages are. So I noticed that this competing channel with the same name only has 12 videos where you have 15 advantage you. However, they are sharing the subscriber count, and I noticed that you're not. My advice is to share your subscriber count, because I don't believe there's a downside. I think that it's more transparent. People on the internet, on YouTube, they desperately want authenticity. And if you're concealing things from them, you're starting off from a place where there's less sense of openness and authenticity and trust. Getting back to that issue. So I highly recommend you share your subscriber count. And like a lot of people think, oh, if it's too low, people won't want to subscribe. I disagree. Now, this is just my opinion, so feel free to ignore it. But my thinking is that if they see like, people love an underdog. They love, like, a classic thing in storytelling, whether it's movies, TV, literary, whatever, is the hero's journey. People want to go on the hero's journey. The hero's journey story has a basic structure. The person attempts something, rap battle, whatever, falls on their face. Oftentimes an enemy is identified, somebody who laughs at them when they fall on their face. They go through a training montage. If it's a Tom Cruise movie, they get the love of a good woman. That seems to make all the difference. Check it out. Every Tom Cruise movie, when he finds a girl, he finds success. Every time. Almost every time. Less frequently with Mission Impossible, but almost like every other movie. You know, Jerry Maguire, Top Gun, you name it. It's very consistent. It's practically a trope or a cliche at this point. So anyways, they find their mentor or their friend, or they form their dodgeball team or whatever it is, and they work their way back, and then at the finals of whatever the event is, they go up against that bully from the beginning of the movie, and they succeed. And people go time and time and time again to see that movie. It's the same movie. The actors are different. The genre is different, the competition is different, but the basic structure of that storytelling is the same. And so people love that journey, and they would love to go on that journey with you. I think a lot of people would, not necessarily everyone, but I think that the number of people who say they don't have many subscribers, I'm not subscribing, I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that happens. If it happens, I don't think it happens very often. I think that by sharing that information, you're more open, and people will want to support you. And, you know, they click it and they see that number go up before you hit, 4 digits. Some people, that's gratifying, right? So that's just something to think about. I do strongly encourage you to share that subscriber count. And so on that, I think the other channel has the advantage. Next, we want to talk channel description. Well, the other channel has no channel description. So you can, I think, very easily unseat this other channel from the #1 position simply by putting your channel name in your channel description. That might be all it takes. So something to think about. But now let's dive into the channel description. I like to edit, emoji, it's a whole new world. I don't know what this channel is about. I just don't. You like to edit. Presumably videos, possibly photos or sound, but more likely video, given the platform. But you could be, you could be the world's greatest Photoshop editor. Possibly. But I don't know that. what? And so again, similar to what I was talking about with the profile description, with your channel description, you want to achieve some important goals. You want to look professional, you want to entice people to click, but frankly, above everything else, you want to tell people what you're about. Don't keep it a secret. Why do people keep this a secret? It drives me crazy. This is a bit of a rant. But like in our Facebook group, 250,000 people, in our Facebook group, we have 4 rules. The third rule is if you want to post something with a link, you have to tell people what it's about. And more than any other rule in our group, people struggle with this one constantly. I've run out of ways of explaining it to people. Why are you keeping it a secret? You want an audience, right? You're here, so you want to grow, you want people to watch. Then why don't you tell people what you're about? I mean, and I don't mean to sound harsh. I don't hope this doesn't come off as like a personal attack or anything, because it's really not. I'm getting a little bit of my frustration coming through because it's such a common issue with small YouTubers, is they don't tell people what they're about. But they're super happy asking for a subscription. That is textbook cart before the horse right there. It's like, hey, subscribe to me. What are you about? Watch my videos. What are you about? Review my channel. What's your channel about? I've literally had that conversation probably hundreds of times now, and it's probably making me a little loopy. And so really, make it easy on your audience. This is something we all need to take a moment, take a breath, and accept. Our audience is lazy. And that is okay. That can be a good thing. If we accept it and harness it, it can be a strength. And so if your audience is lazy, make it easy for them. Make it easy to find you. Make it easy to subscribe. Make it easy to know what you're about, for the love of God, please. So, in terms of SEO, search engine optimization, keyword alignment, which I think is incredibly critical, you have the word edit there. Your channel name is edits plural. There's no limitless. So I think that you could, I generally don't recommend people repeat their channel name at the beginning of their description, but in your case, since you're sort of in a battle for your brand, you might want to do it. You could say at Limitless Edits, we are all about X. One of the things that I harp on a lot, and so brace yourselves, is whatever you do, whether it's YouTube or anything else, you got to start with why. This is a book by Simon Sinek. There's an affiliate link to Amazon US down below if you want to pick it up. You could also just check out his TED Talk, which is absolutely amazing, about the Golden Circle. And so what is important about here is if you understand why you are doing YouTube, like ask yourself, why am I here right now? Why am I watching this crazy bearded bald Canadian go on about my channel? Why am I could be playing video games right now. I could be watching Netflix. I could be eating popcorn. I don't know, whatever you want to be doing. There is a why behind why you are here. What is that why? If you can figure out the answer to that, and this book will help, or the TED Talk, whatever works for you, that can make everything else so much easier, including describing your channel. A good why statement Simon Sinek recommends from his book should begin with, to something so that something else, right? So my why, as I've sort of refined it in its current state, I'm constantly trying to make it a little bit better. My why is to empower people to do so that they can do things they thought was impossible. And that's interesting because that why says nothing about what I'm doing. I will freely admit. I have 2 channels. One is about travel. One is this one, supporting small YouTubers. But my why is the same for both. They are branches off of the same why. I want people to travel. I want to empower them to travel where they thought it was too expensive. Now is a bad time for that, I freely admit. So I might be focusing a little bit more on Small YouTubers Boost right now. I want to empower people so they can succeed at YouTube where they thought maybe they couldn't. That's what I'm all about. And when people hear that, I like to think they can identify with that, whether they care about travel or YouTube. It's like, yeah, you want to empower people. When Bill Gates was trying to build up Microsoft, he wanted to make it so that the little guy could compete with the big guy. And that's kind of the same as it relates to this channel. I'm all about empowering you guys so that you can compete with the larger channels, right? Because I think that YouTube, my value, my belief is that YouTube should be a competition of ideas, a marketplace of ideas. So if you're funnier, if you've got a better idea, if you're smarter, quicker, more talented, whatever it is, that's why you should succeed on YouTube. Not because you figured out the technical secret, not because you hacked the algo, not because, those sorts of things. And so if I share this information that I've picked up over the years, I've been on YouTube since 2006. I don't pretend to be an expert, so take my advice with whatever grain of salt, but hey, you're here voluntarily. I don't have subpoena power. If I can share that to as many people, then I think it'll level the playing field. And so it won't be about this guy figured out how to hack the algo. If we all know the same level of knowledge about the algo and the technical things that we can be doing, then it becomes a competition of who's funnier, who's more creative, who's a better writer, who's a better performer, who's more charismatic. And isn't that the world we all want to live in? And I think that I can explain that to people who've never watched a damn YouTube video. Honestly. And so if you can figure out your why, you like to edit. Why do you like to edit? What are you editing and why do you like to edit it? And if you can begin to put that into your description, then you can entice people more. And you'll coincidentally, with some intentionality perhaps, improve your SEO because you'll be using words that will be more searchable. But I have no earthly idea what your channel is about, so I can't make a recommendation right now. In terms of my TubeBuddy browser plugin, if you don't have TubeBuddy, even the free version has this. There's an affiliate link down below. It tells me some of the tags that are associated with this term. Limitless, movie, Bradley Cooper, tribute comedy trailer, Eddie, clip, Brian. So what I'm seeing here is that, yeah, the movie Limitless is kind of pulling the search. It's kind of dragging it in a particular direction. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. So that's going to be a challenge also of your brand recognition and identity. And so that's a challenge. But looking at this, comedy, that movie was not really a comedy. It had funny moments. So I'm thinking maybe you do humorous edits of videos. That's the best I can come up with the information in front of me. And remember, your audience is lazy, so just give it to them and they'll love you for it. So let's go into the channel here. I'm not going to be playing any videos today because I don't want content ID matches. I don't want you to think I'm trying to steal your content. And that's not really what we're here for. One video can take up a whole day. So I'm just going to focus on the channel. Your banner. Your banner's very nice. This is a good, fairly crisp image. There's a little pixelation off to the sides, but, I mean, it's really good. It's clean. It's legible. It stands out. It's memorable. This is a lovely banner. Still don't know what your channel's about. One thing I do notice that's missing is you don't have any social links. So if you've linked things like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram or PayPal or whatever to YouTube, it would appear there in the bottom right-hand corner over here as a clickable link, but you haven't done so. I strongly recommend that you do so. I'm going to quickly check on your About page. See, that's the entirety of what you wrote. You got to tell people, ideally, your why you do it, how you do it, and sort of what you do, right? And so getting back to that Microsoft thing, their why was... we want to empower the little guy to compete with the big guy. We do that by having, computers that allowed people to, from their homes, have the same business functionality that large corporations had in terms of spreadsheets, word processing, printing abilities, reaching an audience, design, all of those sorts of things. And so the outcome of that is that they wanted a computer in every home. And they did it. But I think there was a lot of people that got on board because they identified with the why. So if you can get the three pieces, sort of the why, the what, the how, in whatever order it is of what you're doing, and put it in there, it will intrigue people and it will improve your searchability. So what I would recommend also is that you create other social media accounts with your channel name. And go and lock that down. Go create a Twitter account. Go create a Snapchat. I don't understand Snapchat, but I lock down my username. And the argument I normally read is, or the scenario I spin for you, if you will, is close your eyes for a moment and imagine that it's tomorrow morning and you've woken up and your phone is exploding. You know those emails that tell you got a new subscriber? You've got just more than you could ever look at. Well over 1,000 of those. And comments and It's weird. You go and you check maybe the YouTube Studio app, and you've got thousands of subscribers and millions of views while you were sleeping. What happened? I don't know. Maybe a K-pop band member said something nice about you on Twitter or something. You're an overnight success. This is great. And then you think to check Twitter. And now there's 6 people pretending to be you. They've each got 10,000 followers, and they are selling things with affiliate links, and they're making money off of your hard work. Doesn't that suck? Nobody wants that. Well, they want the first half. I would very much like the first half. But this is the scenario that you somewhat want to prevent is, hey, you know what? Let's stay positive. Let's envision a positive future for ourselves and the goals that we want to reach. And so in doing so, let's prepare for success. And one of the ways we can do that is by locking down our username across as many platforms as possible. Another reason why you might want to do this is because when it comes time to get verified on, say, Instagram or Twitter, they look at your presence on other social media platforms. Some places have like, you have to have this many followers or subscribers, and that's sort of the metric, and that's fine. But a lot of them don't. They often use this less transparent, much more human process. And they say, like, okay, is Limitless edits on other social media? Do they have the same logo? Do they make the same kind of content? If they do, they're probably serious. This is probably the legit account. If they're cross-linking back and forth, this is definitely the real account that's tied to that very successful YouTube channel. We're going to verify it and give it that check mark. When you get that check mark, that has an air of authenticity about it, and it makes it very clear that the imposters ain't you. And so if they search your name on Twitter and they see one with a check mark and 5 others that are fake, they're more likely to go to the check mark and follow you. So even if you don't use it now, lock it down. Just go and like have a file somewhere where you record the usernames and the passwords. You don't have to go teach yourself this other platform. Just create the account and potentially link a couple of them here. It will round out your profile. There might be people who happen to encounter you on YouTube, but they much prefer Instagram. For example, I find Instagram is generally a more positive place. The comments on Instagram are generally more positive than say on YouTube. On YouTube, you're like, don't go into the comments. But on Instagram, the comments seem to be largely love all over the place. Maybe that's just my experience. But for whatever reason, people have different reasons to be on different platforms that speak to them. So that's what I suggest. And so link a few of them here. And then, if you decide later to use Twitter or something else, then you can dive into it at that time. But at least you've already got it locked down. And use the same profile picture and banner image as much as possible across those all those different profiles. That is a piece of advice I give. So let's get back into the channel here. I notice you've got sort of a glitch effect that you're using here at the beginning of this video. If you're looking, maybe not this channel necessarily, but anyone who's watching, if you're looking for a good intro, there's a website called PlaceIt that I've started using that's just amazing. There isn't a link down below. It'll save you 15%. But they've got these pre-formatted templates for intros, end screens, Instagram stories, tons of stuff. And you can upload your own image to be in it. You can change the text, the color scheme. It's amazing. And so I discovered it not too long ago, and it has definitely taken both of my channels to the next level in terms of professional look. And they've got a lot that have the glitch thing. So if that's something people are looking for, they got a lot of options for that. So let's see here. So you've got a channel trailer, which is good. It's 26 seconds long. That is a good duration for a channel trailer. You just call it intro. That's fine, but I would capitalize the I, because you'll notice when I talked about your profile image and your description, I did put professional as one of those 3 metrics, and I think it's important. And so people will pay attention to those little details and, frankly, judge you by them, either rightly or wrongly. But remember, we are trying to appeal to strangers. You have some mysterious number of subscribers that I don't know, and that's great. But when you're designing things like a thumbnail, a profile picture, and a banner, your primary audience is strangers, people you don't know. And so these people will jump to conclusions because they don't know anything about you, and they're busy and they're lazy. 6 channels that might look like you. In this case, right now, only 2. Not so bad. But they're making a snap decision. And so when they see things like improper grammar, punctuation, capitalization, some of them are like, well, this person's, you didn't put the time, and this is not my opinion, this is what like a hypothetical stranger might think. They didn't put the time in to make a proper title or capitalize it properly. How much effort did they put into this channel? If they're not putting effort into the channel, is it really worth my time to go check it out? It's a harsh thing to think about, but it's an easy thing to fix. So capitalize the I in intro. And since you only have those 5 letters as a title, TubeBuddy, again, you can get the browser plugin with the affiliate link down below. TubeBuddy recommends, and I have, through my experiences, I agree with this, a title between 20 and 70 characters. Anything more than 70 characters and the title starts to get cut off. You have an example right here, and then your 4th video under popular uploads. How to create trending WhatsApp status video. I don't know. You got like hyphen 3 dots. What's after that? And so that kind of shows you that's probably around the 70 character mark right there is where it's getting cut off. And when it's too short, when it's less than 20 characters or so, it is so short that its competition is so enormous, or the information it provides is so minuscule, that it's not enough for either a person or the algorithm to do much with. So here's an easy fix. At the bare minimum for your intro here, limitless edits intro. Intro to limitless edits. Limitless edits channel trailer. Any one of those, you have my permission to use them, would be a little bit better. And capitalize it appropriately. Your description. In this intro to our channel, and this intro is a piece of my future coming edits. See, that is hard to read. You probably heard it in my voice just then. I'm struggling to put it together as I'm doing this cold read. It is the intro to our channel, and this intro is a piece of my future coming edits. Okay, so imagine that glitch effect, the record thing, the intro, that was probably all something that you did yourself, probably in like Adobe After Effects or something else, I don't know. And so this seems to be the kind of editing you're doing. That's great. In fact, there's a real market for it for people, I think. You could easily turn this into a potential source of income. But this writing is really rough. So, you know, you could say something like this. This intro is but a small demonstration of how I like to edit videos, which is my passion. Something like that. Which is my passion that I hope will lead to a future career. Something like that. That's all fine. It would be easier to read. Want to be part of this family. See, that sounds like a question, but it doesn't end in a question mark. Wanna, not great English, but it's okay. It's colloquial. It should be fine. Part of this family, you haven't established that it is a family. Right now, you've spoken only about my future, meaning yours. So you're not talking about your relatives. If you have coworkers or people you're collaborating with, you haven't mentioned them. If you consider the family to be your audience, you have not yet mentioned the audience. Yet you're already asking them to be a part of some amorphous family. What does that mean? It hasn't been defined yet. Click on the subscribe button and click on the notification. Comment on this intro. Again, the word comment should be capitalized. I think this can be really fleshed out with the same kind of things that I was talking about for your channel description. So let's take a look here. You've got popular uploads and uploads. That's pretty good. Do you have playlists? You do. Okay, so you have, is it KindMaster? Is that how you're supposed to, a Cinemaster? Is that how you're, I don't know how you say that. I don't use that software. I'm an Adobe guy, in case you hadn't noticed. Okay, you use PixArt. Okay. This dripping effect. Why is everyone obsessed with this dripping effect all of a sudden? It's like everybody and their dog is a tutorial about how to do the dripping effect. I don't know why that suddenly became popular, but who knows why anything becomes popular. Anyways, so this first these tutorials, this playlist should be on your home screen for a couple of reasons. For one, well, hot damn, that really tells me what you're about. You might want to mention, though, that you do those sorts of tutorials in your About section. That'd be solid. I think that you could put it in here somewhere, maybe between... Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Depends on how the list kind of populates, because you don't have a lot of videos right now. But I do recommend adding that playlist to your home screen as a horizontal row. It would give another 6 opportunities for people to click on your videos. So you've got that. Your thumbnails are fairly solid. Particle intro. Interesting. You've got this logo here, but that looks like, I'm guessing it's the software's logo, because over here you got the other software's logo. Like, this thumbnail here, 6 views 1 week ago, and all it is the Instagram logo. I can see why it got so few views. Even if you just put Instagram and then an X and then underneath it the Cinemaster, whatever the hell that's called, even that alone, that one small change would make that way more clickable. One of the videos I have here on this channel, and I recommend people check it out sometime after the live stream, is where I say that you want to have your thumbnail tell a story. For example, if you go over to Social Blade, and this will be true of any embedded any website that embeds your videos. Hopefully I can demonstrate this quickly, because I'm coming up on my half hour. I got to cut myself off. Here we go. Oh, right, your users, okay. Well, let's go check out your. Let's check out something else on Social Blade. Let's check out Vacation Impossible, because I don't hide my subscriber count, so I get access to all this free information. Another solid reason to share your subscriber count, because you have to have at least 5 subscribers to get on this site. You'll see here on the right-hand side, there is users' recent video. And you see here a thumbnail of my recent video, the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. How do I know that? Because it says it on the thumbnail. It's a picture of it. Hopefully it pops. This is the last point I'll be making, and then I'll return to chat because that's my half hour. But the point is that sometimes on other websites outside of YouTube, your thumbnail will be embedded, and it will be the only thing someone will see about your video. I've had articles that have referenced me in the Canadian press, and on their online version, they had an embedded one of my videos, which awesome. It was only good for about 100 views, but hey, I take it. It was a cool moment for me to have like one of my videos embedded on newspaper websites from coast to coast to coast in Canada. Even if it didn't drive a lot of traffic, it was like, wow. And so all that shows is your thumbnail. The title doesn't come along for the journey. So your thumbnail has to be ready to fight on its own. And it needs to be able to tell a story on its own. And so if your Instagram one there came along, all it would say is Instagram. The video's some way about Instagram. I don't know, right? But if you say Instagram times, like an X and then underneath it the name and logo for the other piece of software, then you're like, oh, it's about how these two intersect, probably using that software to create things from Instagram. I can very quickly reason out what it's about. And if that's a thing I want, click. Now, if that's not a thing I want, I'm not going to click anyways. So hopefully that was in some way useful. Now, yes, when the mouse hovers over, some of the title does appear, but that gets cut off real quick too. So you just can't count on it. All right, let me get kind of caught up on chat here and see what's shaken. King J says, hi. Lemon says, hey, people. Harry Moody reactions. I sold a normal 50p for 60p, and I feel like an absolute businessman. What? A normal... I feel like a word's missing there. You sold something that's normally 50 pence for 60 pence, I'm thinking, and felt like an absolute businessman, maybe? I don't know. I remember, like, yeah, the first sort of sponsorship deal that I ever worked out, and the first time I got something free, and the first, like, affiliate thing I ever got, every time it's like, where's my suit and tie? I'm an entrepreneur now. Let's see, my chat scrolling without my permission. Isotope, sup everybody? Do I owe you a channel review, Isotope? I feel like you've been in a lot of chats and maybe I haven't reviewed you. I'm not sure. This is Lot. We cool. It would be an honor to be reviewed. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully it was an honor and I wasn't too savage. King J says, hello, Super Robot Fighting League. Hey. Happy birthday, Ray. You're a number of months early, but I appreciate it. You know, that's another thing that's like, here's another weird trend that I don't understand in my Facebook group. A lot of people are posting like, happy birthday, check out my channel. What? Is happy birthday the new hello? Is that what the kids are saying now? What is it? I think it's a bad translation, I'm thinking. I don't know, did I miss a joke? Oh, I see here. I've got my the two chats that I can see simultaneously here, which is kind of cool. Isotope says, you've reviewed me before. We'd love for you to see the growth, of course. Okay, well, we'll see how things go. Boom, just got a sub. My phone is nearly flat. I assume that means nearly out of power. Andrew J. Smith says, hey, guys. That name sounds a little familiar. Yay, balloon recycling. 250 special K. Kickstarter funded. Jai Mata, not sure if I'm saying that right. sort of piece, like the Mario thing. From what was that? Mario World? Jumped off Yoshi. Oh, yeah, Mode 7. Anyways. How many requests are there already? About 30? I'm not sure. I go chronologically in chat. But if you do want a paid channel review, reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter. I guarantee a minimum 45 minutes, up to an hour of a full in-depth review with action items, and then I'll post it as a video on Small YouTubers Boost channel. Gives you a little bit of exposure. You can rewatch it as many times as you want, if that's something you're interested in. During the live streams, I do free ones capped at a half hour. Future moderator, congratulations for the incredible numbers. Yeah, it's mind-blowing. A channel review would be amazing. Only just started out, however, would love some feedback. Andrew J. Smith. All right. I think we got to start the clock again. And begin. Okay, Andrew J. Smith, that looks like your profile picture from chat. So you came up first, you own your name. Your name actually gets a TubeBuddy score of 60 out of 100, which is very good. Names often do that when they are unique names. I think by including your middle initial is how you're pulling that off. So that's pretty good. That's weird. I think you might... You look a little bit like me, judging by that thumbnail from like probably 20 years ago, but nevertheless, that's interesting. There is another channel with the same name, but they have 3 subscribers. You've got 4. They got 3 videos. You've got 5. So that's fine. So your logo is crisp, it's clear, it's identifiable. It doesn't tell me what your channel is about, and that's okay, but it seems reasonably professional. Yeah, I don't know that it hits the explanation or enticement goals, but it does look fairly professional. So you've got 1 out of 3 on that. And again, very, very hard to do. So that's just, it's great if you can make it happen. I got to do the American Idol thing. I got to show the logo of what I'm drinking out. I don't actually sell these right now, but if anyone's interested, I could very easily add it to my Teespring, I think. That's my Vacation Impossible logo there. It says in yellow, which was a poor color choice, no vacation is impossible. This actually was something from a subscription service that isn't around anymore, from Vistaprint, where they would, it was called Promo Box. It was awesome. Their marketing team took your logos and you answer a questionnaire about what your brand's about, and then every month they would send you things. That's how I got this t-shirt. Oh! And so anyways, it's given me a lot of ideas, but it's not available anymore. Ray's going to be angry. Oh, I know why. Yeah, I'll try to be kind. It's a triggering phrase for me. Channel description. So, should I talk about newspapers? Should I do the newspaper thing? Let's do the newspaper thing. So, long ago, newspapers were a thing. These were like websites that were printed out and sold. They were sold on street corners, in shops, and like little like a food truck, but with news. A food truck selling news on paper. Okay, and so they would print the information on the paper, and the paper would be fairly long, longer than sort of your run-of-the-mill piece of paper. And so that probably looks pretty horrible, but whatever. So much longer than your regular piece of paper. What they would do is they would fold it in half, and so you would have this fold at the bottom. And so if you had an important news story or an advertisement that you wanted lots of people to see, remember these are stacked on shelves, and so everything above this fold is visible to anyone who happens to go walking by. And so above the fold became a very important metric in terms of news and advertisement placement. Anything that went above the fold got many more eyeballs on it, whether you were selling something or informing people. Why am I talking about that? Well, part of the reason is that the equivalent of that on the internet is the things that display before anybody has to click on anything. That's sort of what the modern day equivalent of above the fold is. So the things that you see before you have to click, remember our audiences are lazy, and that's okay. We want to be okay with that. Everything you see before you click is above the fold. More people will see it. That means you need to have your best stuff above the fold as much as possible. And if you want to be really effective, you want that stuff to make people click so they see the rest of it. So they buy that newspaper. That's right, they had to pay for the news back in the day. And then they would open it, and then they would go, like, they would read the bottom half, and then they would go to the second page, and on and on. So it was a twofold, or double-edged sword, if you want to look at it, approach where you wanted to have your most valuable, important stuff there. The ads above the fold cost more. The information you felt was absolutely essential to get out there, you wanted up there. But at the same time, you wanted to do it in a way that appealed to people so that they would buy it, open it, and then encounter the rest. I see that iPhone Chris was actually right after Andrew J. Smith. That's the next one sort of on my mental list. So anyways, with that in mind, and people who have watched before know that I get really ranty about this, so I'm going to try and keep it cool. Zen. So what that means is that what's at the beginning of your channel description, what's at the beginning of your video descriptions, and things like that, is critically important real estate. The first 100-odd characters of your channel description is worth more than the rest of your description in terms of people's eyeballs. So right now you're beginning, hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Get a little snarky here. Hey doesn't add any value. Nobody is searching for hay. If they're searching for hay, they probably want farms, and that's probably not what this is about. Wouldn't that be amazing? If it were, like, that'd be the craziest coincidence ever. Nobody is searching welcome to my YouTube channel whilst on YouTube. Hot damn, we're on YouTube, and this thing is YouTube? What an amazing coincidence. You're not providing any information to people is what I'm saying. And they can tell from the way that it's laid out that this is a channel. Because that's what YouTube is made up of. It's made up of channels that have videos. So your first two sentences are, and excuse me for being blunt, a waste of space. You could be using this space so much more effectively. So please, just delete the first two sentences. Hey! Welcome to my YouTube channel. How about, can we all just agree and assume that that people said welcome to our channel? Can that be implied? Maybe we don't have to use our vital real estate to say it? Can that be like a social norm that we all just sort of accept? How many people are like, whoa, stay away from my channel? If you do that, you just make the videos private. Like, everybody's welcome, I would assume. I think it's a safe assumption. I'm sure you're coming from a good intention. You want people to be welcome, not unlike my welcome messages and posts that I make in the Facebook group. However, early at the beginning of this live stream, I itemized some of the purposes and goals that I'm trying to achieve with those. I don't know that this achieves any goals. And if it is, I don't know if it's doing a great job. So, again, no, please, small YouTubers, I beg of you, stop writing in text, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's wasting space, it's hurting you. And frankly, it does kind of look a little unprofessional. Because professionals know not to do it. Sorry to say. All right, moving on. My name is Andrew, and I'm 24 from the UK. I'm here to upload videos twice a week. Okay, a few things. We know your name is Andrew from the channel name. That having been said, you are owning your channel name. So having Andrew in there is maybe helping you. So I don't know that it provides great value, but it might be helping from an SEO standpoint. So maybe mentioning your name could come a little bit later. I am 24. Are you going to update your channel description on your birthday? On every birthday hence? If so, great, cool. If not, how is your age relevant to what you do? I don't know. I don't know what your channel is about. And that's where I also get a little ranty. You're from the UK. Okay, now, like, that is the first bit of legitimate information. I know you're 24. That's legitimate information. It doesn't tell me what you're about. The fact that you're from the UK, I mean, it's possibly narrowing it down slightly. I don't know. I mean, I imagine that it's not going to be about daily life in Uganda because you're in UK. But I don't know. It might be. It might be a documentary series. Maybe you've been there. You have some friends there. Maybe you studied it. Maybe you got a degree in it. You're 24. You can have a degree. So, I'm just having a little tums. Video's not sponsored. I am here to upload videos twice a week. Well, for one thing, that reminds me of this this movie called They Live by John Carpenter, starring Roddy Piper. And if you're ever in the mood for a good B movie, this one's fun. If you're familiar with Duke Nukem, the video game character, he was largely based off of that movie. And you know this because one of the famous lines from the movie And I might get a little, might hurt potential future monetization one day. This channel's not monetized. But anyways, at one point he comes into a grocery store and he's got basically this ability to detect aliens that other people don't have. He looks around and he sees that the grocery store's full of aliens in disguise, right? So he says, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. And so this sort of reminded me of that, because it's like, I'm here to upload videos twice a week. It's completely unrelated. It was just a funny thing it reminded me of. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so I will now activate the rant about public upload schedules as I chew on my Tums. So pardon my full mouth. But I don't want to waste your time while I sit here and So, publishing your upload schedule is problematic for a couple of reasons. One, it puts undue and unnecessary pressure on your shoulders. If you miss it because you have a illness of some kind, or an opportunity that you want to take, or you just need a mental health break, or whatever reason, you're traveling. One day, hopefully we all will again. So don't put that pressure on yourself unnecessarily. You're just adding stress for virtually no benefit. And I could be wrong about this. Tell me in chat, or if you're rewatching this, put it in the comments. Hashtag replay. If you're watching the replay in the comments, and answer this question. If you see an upload schedule on a channel, does that make you more likely to subscribe, less likely to subscribe, or no impact? I'd be curious. To me, it makes no impact. And here's where it could actually hurt you. If I know that you, like my classic example is I love James Rolfe in Cinemassacre. I've actually met him at convention. He's a very, very nice guy. I love the Angry Video Game Nerd. I love You Know What's BS. I don't want to get totally demonetized in case this ever gets monetized, this channel. But I also know that James and Mike Mondays comes out on, you guessed it, Monday. So I'm subscribed because I want to support him. He's got over 3 million subscribers. I'm happy to be one of them. I like being part of his journey. I think he works hard and deserves success. Has good ideas. Very funny. But I don't have notifications turned on because I don't need them. Because I know that on Monday, I can go watch James and Mike Monday. So by not having your upload schedule public, you actually create a slight mystique potentially. You actually, by publicly stating your upload schedule, you are disincentivizing your audience from having notifications turned on. And how many times have we heard YouTubes of all sizes, shapes, colors, and experience levels say, click the bell. That's what the bell is. It's notifications. So if people don't know when you've got new videos coming out, then that actually incentivizes them to click the bell. So they do find out. And I do this myself out of both necessity and strategy. It's the odd concurrent, the Venn diagram overlaps, where in videos for this channel, and when I'm talking about this channel, I tell people, subscribe with notifications on, because I go live on short notice. On Monday, I did not know I would be doing this here right now. 2 days ago, I knew I was going to probably have a chance to go live today, but I didn't know when. So because of that, I don't publicly state it. And there have been times where I say, like, I'm going live at 11 a.m. Pacific, and then something comes up, and I'm late. And then you get into this whole trap, which I do think is a trap, and I think it's bad. You get YouTubers who begin live streams, Twitch people with broadcasts, videos, whatever it is. They begin with, sorry I'm late. For the love of God, never say that. Don't start with an apology like that. For one thing, remember that, a lot of what we make is for strangers because we want to grow our audience, right? If growing our audience is something you care about, make things for strangers. And so a stranger, the first time they encounter your channel, the first thing they ever hear is you apologizing for being late. Well, that's a downer. That's not very positive. That's not energetic. I'll click off that video. Where's this going? I don't care. I don't care about your upload schedule. I came here to watch whatever this video is about. Unless the video happened to be about your upload schedule, which would be weird. That'd be very meta. Video about a video. So these are some of the reasons why I think it's a bad idea, basically. Give yourself the flexibility beyond that. So let's see here. Most used tags coming up from my TUBEBUDDY browser plugin. Link down below. You know the drill. Lewis, Capaldi, Alex Smith, Andrew Smith, Winter in the Blood. Eesh, sounds dark. David Morse, Ryan Gosling, Slaughter Rules, screenplay, director. I'm not seeing a lot of consistent stuff here. This could be about anything still. So, still don't know what your channel's about. So let's dive in and see if I can figure it out. And now you did mention that your channel was relatively new. So the banner, I mean, you got really good contrast, the orange against the black there. You're using the orange consistently in your logo and your, okay, interesting. In your logo and your banner, the colors there. In fact, I'm seeing in a couple of your thumbnails, the orange is a little consistent as well. The 13 Facts About Me and the This Can't Happen Ever Again, those two have sort of an orange outline. So it seems like orange is a color that you're sort of embracing. That's not a bad thing. I just want to do a quick search because I don't remember what orange is sort of in that color psychology thing. I'm very curious. Let's see. Sort of friendly and optimistic I'm seeing here. Orange. Orange has a very interesting psychological meaning as it combines red's power and energy with yellow's friendliness and fun. The mix makes orange a good representation of physical comfort in our warmth, food, and shelter. Interesting. Does that speak to you? Does that sound like what you're about, what you're trying to accomplish? If it does, that's awesome. If it doesn't, something to think about in case you ever decide to relook at your colors. Let's go back here. So it is a fairly new channel. It's interesting. So you have a welcome video here. It's admittedly nearly 7 minutes long, but you don't have a channel trailer. But in the absence of a channel trailer, you could set this welcome video to serve as a channel trailer. So that I would recommend doing for now. You can do that right now. Changing your About page and setting that to immediate things you could do right this instant if you were so inclined, or maybe shortly after this live stream ends, that I think will have at least some measure of positive impact on your channel. And that's one of those things is sometimes I do actually really enjoy reviewing early channels because it's a huge opportunity for impact. And also when I suggest something, they don't necessarily have to go back over a back catalog of 100, 200, 300 videos and make changes. So it's a little easier, and there's a lot of great opportunities. So I think that's a good idea. I already earlier talked about the value of social links, so I won't repeat myself there. Just looking at these thumbnails, I would say that 2 of these are very professional. 2 of the 5. Any guesses? Which 2 do you think is very professional? It's the 2nd and 3rd video currently visible. This one here, how to make sneak energy the correct way. I don't know what that is, but this image is great. Your foreground is sharp. Your colors are rich and vibrant. This is a nice image. I don't know what sneak energy is. If that is a thing that people know and they see this thumbnail, they will click on it, potentially because they recognize it. So that is really solid. That's that one. The next one, Spring Room Tour. The kind of slightly out of focus picture of your setup, that actually looks really professional because it looks like it's a fairly professional setup you've got rocking there. The text could be a little bit better to read. The green outline on the white is a little tricky. I mean, I can read it, but I think it could be better. One thing I'm also just now realizing is you have a consistent font across your thumbnails and your title, and you're like, that's good. That font is actually fairly legible. So I think that is... I think the text could be tweaked a little bit. Maybe make it green with a drop shadow or white with a drop shadow. I don't know. But these 2, I think, are your stronger thumbnails. And so something to keep in mind. Nice, crisp, good image, professional setup. That's quite good. And so, like, this is about something I don't know called Sneak Energy. This is a room tour. Makes perfect sense. 13 Facts About Me. It feel like... I don't know what your channel's about. Like, will this tell me more? No, here, there's more. Oh, criminy. Oh, it gets worse. Wednesdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. I mean, you say you're in the UK, so does the UK have multiple time zones? So I guess 9 a.m. in UK, but okay. It's a little dicey having times because the internet is so global. That was what I was reacting to there. Here you will find a range of different content. Can somebody define content for me? Let me ask it a different way. When I say I make content, what am I not making? What are my videos not about when I say I make video content? It's a meaningless word. It's jargon. It's all it's broad. It's like miscellaneous, other things, items, stuff. It's not descriptive. If you ever had a difficult English teacher who was like, they often had things that they never wanted you to use because it was not very descriptive, or they thought it was lazy writing. A couple examples as I was going through the educational system. One was went. We went to the store. Did you walk or did you drive? Did you snowshoe? Like, don't ever say went. Never. So it's like, oh, I spent a year of school listening to that over and over and over again. After it was only directed at me once, and then I learned. But then I was watching the 29 other people in the class constantly getting slapped around for it, not physically, but metaphorically. Another one is the word that. Oftentimes, if you've written something in like Word or whatever, do a Control F for the word that, and then imagine all of those that's disappeared. Would it make any difference to the meaning of the sentences? Content is kind of one of those words. It's jargony, right? I used to work at an amusement park for 14 years, and we had plenty of jargon. I'm 10-8. It's a radio code, meaning I was done my break or done the task. Oh, that thing is 1013. That means it's broken. Oh, it's 1014. That means it's fixed. And there was tons of jargon. And it started. A lot of it started with radio code, and then it seeped into our vernacular, our common language. What's your 20? What's your location? Where are you? Things like that. And there was just other jargon stuff. Like we had a log ride, which in the industry is known as a flume. And so that was easier than saying water ride because it's one less word. But we would never say that to the guests or with them present because it's jargony and it makes them feel unwelcome. It makes them feel out of the loop. It's almost like switching to a language they don't speak in the middle and in front of them, which is kind of rude. Especially if it's like a conversation they should be a part of or about them. So I would avoid the word content. This isn't directed at you, Andrew. It's directed at anybody who's watching. Content is an all-encompassing thing that isn't descriptive. So you can use it when speaking to other creators just fine, but even then I recommend using it more as a question than an answer. What kind of content do you create? Not, I create content. Like, that's some kind of frickin' answer. It's not. Oh, content! Here I thought you were actually creating nothing? What's the alternative to content? Emptiness? Space? I don't even know. So there's my content rant. So anyways, honestly, this could be something like, I'm Andrew, I'm 24 from the UK. I create vlogs, tech and travel videos, setups, and much more. Travel videos, that's exciting. That's my space. Tech videos can be useful. Setups sounds like it might relate to tech videos. So that might be redundant. I'm not sure. Vlogs. I'm going to sound stupid for a second. What's a vlog? I know what a vlog is. It's a video log. And so generally it was people like a video diary almost. But it's come to the point where vlog has come to mean, and for one thing, vlogs make up a third of all of YouTube. So by saying you make vlogs, that doesn't narrow it down greatly. But again, if I make vlogs, what am I not making? I've seen plenty of how-tos called vlogs. I vlog about how to do things. I vlog DIY. Vlog travel. I vlog tech. So, vlogs to me, they sometimes mean like personality-driven content. So, again, like your 13 facts about me. Yeah, that is a vlog, and I don't know how else to describe it, really. So, vlogs, I think, is fair for this channel. I'm just saying for people in our group who are thinking that vlogs describing what they make, you can vlog about makeup or video games or your career in pornography. Who the hell knows? So, generally speaking, again, be descriptive as much as possible. And so words like content and vlogs. Content doesn't do it at all. Vlogs a tiny bit. But I think that, like, tech videos, travel videos. Now we're talking. It's YouTube, though, so they're probably videos. So tech and travel. Now we're talking. That's what you're about. Tech and travel. And possibly, you know, yeah, personal vlogs about your life. I get it now. Took 3 paragraphs. It's the 6th sentence where I find out what your channel's about. That is too late. That is too late. Lazy people have moved on to other lazy things that embrace their laziness. Channel started June 5th, 2020. So yes, as you stated, it is very new. I see here from your stats that you joined in May, but that's I can appreciate that. I created my YouTube account in 2006. I uploaded my first video in 2008, but I recorded my first video in 2001. So good luck sorting that one out. I don't know that there's a lot of value in saying channel started on this particular date. I don't know that that helps or informs anyone. Just being brutally honest. You've got your email set up properly and your country set up properly. That's fantastic. Again, social links would be good. So, I mean, it's a pretty new channel. I think it's got a lot of potential. Do we have playlists? Yeah. So, every video you put out needs to be in at least one playlist. I don't know why I said that like William Shatner. Playlists are our business. That's why we're on YouTube. Not entirely, but playlists are important. Playlists provide a structure if somebody wants to watch your various videos in some sort of narrative path or on a theme. So if you have, you know, serialized content, it's a great way to organize it. If you have a bunch of videos on a theme, I, on this channel, do TubeBuddy tutorials. So there's a playlist, TubeBuddy tutorials. If you just want to go watch all of those, very easy. Make it easy for people to binge your content. And even when you're starting out, you're going to have some playlists with just one video in it, and that is okay. Just to demonstrate this, I'm going to hop over to my channel here. And click on my playlist. So, let's see. Boom. Puerto Vallarta. I've only got 3 videos in that playlist. Oh, here we go. Product reviews. I only have 1, because on Vacation Impossible, I've only ever reviewed 1 product for travel. So, but then, on the higher end of the spectrum, I got 28 videos about food. I got 25 videos about the cruise ship called the Carnival Panorama. Why is that important? Well, let me pick something here. Don't know how... I almost don't want a good example. I don't want to give away my secrets, although you could go look yourself. Something a little older. Mario Marathon. I've got some videos about the old Mario Marathon. Haven't had one of those in a few years. So here's an example. I support the Mario Marathon. Wow. Wow, this playlist needs work. Maybe I'll do this in real time and show you how to punch up your playlist a little bit. So, I created my playlist and I named it Mario Marathon. It has videos about the Mario Marathon. That means that the algorithm has increased confidence that these videos are probably about the Mario Marathon. If it is in the title of the video and in the title of the playlist it's in, and oh look, the description of the playlist also includes the phrase Mario Marathon. Awesome. So that's one of the reasons that this is important. Some of the ways that you can easily punch things up, because this needs work. You can sort them fairly easily. You just grab it and then boom. Now this trailer I made that was based on The Force Awakens for the last Mario Marathon that there was thus far was 2018, where we played Super Mario Odyssey. It was the only game we played and I'm the only one who beat it. That was awesome. But then like thinking about the structure here, like, okay, going immediately to a behind-the-scenes video. No. Here's a video that explains the charity that it supports. I'm gonna... Oh, I gotta pull it from here. Put that second. You know, so there's different things here, but also, I know that I have more videos on this subject here than this. So that was how to sort. And also you can easily move things up and down this way. Set as playlist thumbnail. You can see that's what I've done. This is a picture of me with Will Wheaton. And I figured that was best for that playlist. So I set that as the playlist thumbnail. But let me show you just how easy it is to add something to a playlist. So, I think this one was... Which one was already in it? They all say behind the scenes. Sorry, just a second here. My memory is trash. So what one do I have here? Okay, I'm Your Puppet. That's the only Jed song here. Jed's a member of the Mario Marathon. He does acoustic covers, and they are amazing. And so in the last 2 years, when I was on the show, I recorded some. So here's how easy it is to add something to a playlist. Here it is. If I Ain't Got You, cover of an Aaliyah song. It was at the Mario Marathon behind the scenes. I click here. Save to playlist. Boom. And it comes up here. And then I just find my Mario Marathon, which is going to be pretty deep because it's an older playlist. Boom. And as you can see, it can be in more than one playlist. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm just going to quickly go add Roma Woman. Save to playlist. Now, because I just modified that playlist, it'll be higher up. Just because it was recently saved. By having something added to it. Acoustic solo. Yeah, that was the Sweet Caroline cover. That wasn't Caroline at all. Save to playlist. Mario Marathon. And you'll see there's a notification bottom left-hand corner. Actually, you won't because my face is there, but trust me, there is. And then I go over to my playlists. Now I can see it added them to the end. And so it's kind of like, okay, what do I want to, what order do I want? This was about a specific thing. That can probably go pretty much to the bottom. That's not a very critical video. This was just me being a little cute with a cow puppet. That was talking about the return of a specific year. So that's a little dated content now. So maybe the puppet. This is me vlogging. See, I said vlog. Because it was about my personal experience. I was exhausted participating in the Mario Marathon. And I was at the Hampton Inn, Indianapolis. And my room wasn't ready when I came back at like first thing in the morning after a graveyard shift. And so now I've got all the videos of the music clustered together here. And I think that's a little bit better. I think I just made this playlist a tiny bit better. And I frequently say that, there's 100 things you need to do to succeed at YouTube, right? And that's just one small example. That playlist is now slightly better. What impact will it have? It's difficult to say. Okay. Sorry, I just joined. Why is he sorting his videos? I'm showing you how to sort your playlists. It's a demo. Okay, iFun Chris is next up for a channel review, so let's restart the clock. iFun Chris has been with us in more than one broadcast, so I apologize for the lateness. Thousands of things to do to succeed. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't think I say that because I think I could, with relative ease, list 100 things. I know that there's 1,000, but listing them would be a challenge. So if somebody called me on it, I wouldn't... Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, iFun Chris. I really feel like I've done something with this before. I feel like I've looked at it before. So this might not be a full half hour, but I'll start the clock because this sounds familiar. Hopes Oh, right. Oh, no. Never mind. That was Isotope that said to look for an update. Anyways, losing my mind slowly but surely. A slow descent into madness. Hopes laugh together doing lifetimes. What? Hopes laugh together doing lifetimes. That's it. He's broken my brain. No, I'm kidding. I'm guessing there's supposed to be some commas there. So like, hopes, comma, laugh together, comma. Hopes, comma, laugh, comma, together doing. What's doing lifetimes? I don't. How do you do it? No, I don't understand. I'm sorry. It's all about fun. I like fun. Check out my channel. Maybe subscribe too. That sentence is doing nothing for you. You can have it, but move it a little bit later. I would add, yeah. Oh, I don't understand. Hey, I'm lazy too, so help this lazy guy understand. Is it a comedy channel? I hope it's a comedy channel. I would really, I love the idea of comedy channels. I love college humor. College humor is great. Okay, so care of TubeBuddy, my browser plugin, affiliate link down below if you're so inclined. The free version will get you some of this. Now I have Legend, which is the biggest one, and so like I have lists that go on for days. I don't know that many people need Legend. I think Pro and Star is sufficient, and if free's all you can afford, free's good too. So anyways, comedy videos. Pie in the face, pie face, pied face. Pie. This is sounding familiar. I swear I've looked at this before. Getting paid. Oh, getting pied. Huh. I read that. See, I'm lazy, and humans are pattern recognition machines, and so my lazy eye saw it as paid, not pied, because I see the word paid a lot more than I see the word pied. Pie in the face. All right. I love that logo. It's nice. It's crisp. I swear I've looked at this before. Hopes laugh together doing lifetimes. It's a Mad Lib. It's a word cloud. I don't understand. What I would recommend is the drop shadow that you have on the text needs to be a little closer to the text, because when it's closer to the text, it helps it pop against the background. But when it's too far away, it kind of, I think, distracts slightly. That having been said, this yellow is a really good color. It pops nicely against the blue, and it has the stroke around it, so that's pretty good. I would just move the drop shadow so that the distance is a little reduced. You got iFun Chris there with that sort of effect behind it. It's okay. I think that if it was a bit more consistent in terms of maybe more like this, might be a little better, but I don't know. It's kind of okay. You got the red side panels against the blue. I kind of like that. It's almost like a flag. You got a good shadow here. You got kind of a light on this side. That looks a little unusual. And there's a little lightness over here. Maybe you're boxing this image, but you're not doing... Oh, and over here is like dark. I like the darkness. I think if you did this dark effect over here as well, then that might be better. But I'm really nitpicking here. This is pretty good. You got your website there. Website probably doesn't have an ICO file. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's why that's not pulling. There's no ICO file. That's fine. It's a thing with website design. You can upload a .ico file, and that will change the little icon up there to that. And then when it pulls into YouTube, that icon there can be your own. So just quickly, I'm not sure if I have it for mine. I did, but I've moved things around on my channel a lot. Yeah, no, I don't have the website there. Would it be on my About page? No, the logos don't come up. Anyways, if I did have it, there would be a version for my Vacation Impossible site, which is trash. I freely admit. I need to spend time on that. I guess ICO files don't show up in Firefox. Oh, no, there it is up there. So you see how there's that VI up there? That is what is known as an ICO file, ICO. It's like 16 by 16 pixels. You do not have much space to work with. If you think making a profile picture on YouTube is hard, trying to do anything with that space is tricky AF. But you see how like YouTube's got their little play button there. Oh, wait, hold on. This is all being covered by my banner, isn't it? Yes, it is. Great job. Anyways. If I minimize this some, would that help? Nope. Yeah, okay. Let me turn off my banner. That's what we'll... No. And let me turn off my scrolling text. There we go. So you see here in the tab, there is... I mean, this is partially blocked by the chat, but over here, we've got the YouTube logo for YouTube. My personal website, I designed that poorly, I freely admit. That's not my best work. And then we'll just go back here. Back again. We'll go to your site here. Let's see if an ICO file comes up. I don't think so. You have some fancy stuff here, man, like this messenger and thing. That's kind of impressive. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Is that because I wouldn't chat? Anyways, if you had an ICO file, it would pull through and then show here instead of that picture of the world. Not that important. A little bit of fancy business, so it's kind of up to you. Let's put that stuff back there. Okie doke. I fund Chris. What to know about my fun channel? I like that. The capitalization's a little inconsistent, but it's pretty good. Welcome to iFund Chris channel. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to fun videos. Thanks for watching. So again, really, like, after the welcome part, and in the channel trailer, beginning with welcome, that's okay. After that, but before asking people to like, share, and subscribe, that's where you really need a solid sentence or 3 actually telling people what you're about. It can, like, this is a 19-second video. You could potentially, assuming this is you talking, you could just type out what you say. Like, that might be all right. In fact, that might do very well with SEO. Because if what you say is also in the captions, is also in the title, is also in the tags and the description, then you get some maximum keyword alignment there. Oh, we're a featured channel! Wow, thanks. Thanks, Chris. That was so nice. Get me all emotional here. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is lovely. That is such a nice thing to do. Uploads our show. I know. I swear I've looked at this before. I'm getting like real deja vu here. Popular uploads. Pie in the Face is very popular, and like you're leaning into it. I get that sense. That's not bad. It's okay. So this is a playlist of playlists, and that's why it's a little incomplete. So I would flush this out. If you got a couple more playlists you can add to this, that would be helpful. Popular uploads, history. Again, wait a minute, is this just not loading properly? Because I'm getting the arrow. No? Weird. Kids area. Just getting a personal message here. Okay. How long have we been broadcasting for? I might need to wrap things up. Okay, we can go for a bit longer. This might be my last channel review, and then I'll probably see just about going through chat, answering some questions. Yeah, okay, so it's great. You got the featured channels there, and again, once again, thank you so much. Or what is it now? This? For doing that. Let's check the playlists. You're creeping up on 100 subscribers, I see here. You're at 98. So when you hit 100, you will have the option to have a custom URL. So what that means is... Let's go back here. It's not updating. Here, let me just do a thing. So that means that once you have your custom URL, and you might already know this, but who knows, is that instead of youtube.com/channel/ capital U, capital C, lowercase g, lowercase r, uppercase h, lowercase blah, 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 blah. These are like Java randomized characters. You will actually get to set your own URL, and that is an important moment. I think it opens things up to a broader world. Because it makes sharing your channel so much easier, and it makes the channel look a little bit more professional and clean in the layout as well. And also, there's some SEO to consider about what is going to be in your channel URL, because those are words too that are searchable. So when I first got started on YouTube, well, not when I first got started, but as I was starting to take things seriously, around about 2016, I had about 34 subscribers, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start taking things seriously. Started doing some different things, rebranding the channel, and then somebody who was very nice and supporting me got me some business cards. But I didn't yet have 100 subscribers. And so when I got my first business card that they got for me, it got my channel name on there. And on the back, it has, you can't see very crisply, but it has our website, our email, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, because our channel URL would have been crazy. But then, after I hit 100 subscribers, after I joined Small YouTubers Boost, I was able to get my custom URL, which is Vacation Impossible for that channel. And so then, when I was doing, again, that promo box thing I was talking about, one thing they sent me was square business cards. It's interesting. I've never designed my own business cards. They've always been made by other people. Anyways, got the square one, which kind of got this like cityscape and our logo. That's kind of cool. But on the back, and this is where it gets interesting, has our slogan, "No vacation is impossible." And down here, you can't really see it great, but that is youtube.com/vacationimpossible, which is awesome. So that's one of the important benefits. So you want to think about your channel name, or your custom URL. iFund Chris sounds like probably what you're going to want, but the decision is ultimately yours. And it depends on the future direction that you want to take your channel in. I have one more example of sort of you know, because it does, like, I do not recommend getting physical promotional materials when you don't yet have your custom URL. So one of the things that came with Promo Box also is I got this notepad here, which is really kind of cool. Again, we've got our logo, our slogan, no vacation is impossible. And down here, this is a slightly different approach. Rather than typing out a full URL, what the people at Vistaprint came up with was just having, I don't know why that's not focusing, just the YouTube logo and then the channel name. So just YouTube logo and then Vacation Impossible. Because that's enough for a thinking person to be able to find the channel very easily. They can type youtube.com/vacationimpossible, or they could search it. Either way, it's not that hard to find. And so that's very professional and allows you to, if that's a thing you're interested in. But even if not, even if it's just a matter of sharing things in, you know, in a Facebook group, perhaps, it's so much easier to type out youtube.com/ and then iFundChris or whatever you end up getting. And your phone will remember it with predictive text, for example. So when I'm doing that, all I really need to type out is like HT, and then I can select http:// automatically auto completes. Then I just then it suggests YouTube, then I put the / and then it suggests Vacation Impossible. So I can share my channel link pretty quickly. So if somebody's like, drop your links, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll play along, which is kind of what I do sometimes. You can do it pretty quickly and then maybe get in there earlier in case there is a legitimate purpose behind it, if it is a legitimate opportunity. Because I have had, you know, people post that in the group, and then suddenly it's like, okay, here's 3 suggestions for things you can improve. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I thought you were just going to sub for sub and I was going to have to ban you. Cool. It's nice when it goes that way. And I have just, you know, sort of in a guerrilla fashion explained why we allow those posts, because they're not always bad. And so that sort of thing, it makes it easier to share. And then when you can put it in your like profile on Twitter or whatever website or social media thing that you're on. Oh, you got TUBEBUDDY. Cool. Excellent. Yeah, like here you're on Twitter. And so you can you put your website, which is probably pretty smart actually. But if it was just your YouTube, you could have put the YouTube there, so that's fine. Since I'm on the About page, let's take a look. Upload schedule, I kind of already mentioned that. Yeah, monthly pie face show. I mean, that seems to be working well for you. And so, yeah, continuing with that makes good, solid sense. I met Pat Contry, Pat the NES Punk, a few times at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And one of the things he often says is that he does a multitude of shows, Pat the NES Punk, the CU podcast, different things. Ask Frank, which I think is retired now, which is a shame because that was fun. But one of the things he said is, you know, if I just did Flea Market Madness all the time, and like once a week I just put out a video of me going to the flea market, I would have 1 million subscribers and I'd be rich. But that's not the kind of content I want to create, which is interesting. And so I think that the pie face thing, I don't know. It might be a slightly similar, smaller scale analogy, of course, but where I think that's getting some traction for you. And so hopefully that's a thing that you enjoy. And by doing that with some regularity, I think that you know, you might end up being kind of like the pie face guy. I don't know. So you have your Twitter and your Facebook here, but you also have your Twitter and your Facebook down here. So I don't think this is an effective use of space, just these 3 lines here. Contact us, featured channels, ask. That's interesting. You might also want to consider adding your email. As I showed in the previous channel review, they had their email there, but it was masked, which means someone has to physically click on it to get that email, which is good. Because that prevents the spiders and the bots from collecting it and spamming you, but it still allows for professional organizations to contact you. I don't know who makes PieFace. I think I recently got rid of ours because it fell apart. But if they wanted to reach out to you to do something, if they wanted to highlight you on their website or their Facebook, or if maybe they've got a YouTube channel or their Twitter, maybe they've got a new variant of the game or an expansion pack, if you could have something like that for that kind of a game, and maybe they wanted to send it to you for free for you to test out and to somewhat promote for them, or even way better is if like they wanted to pay you for a promotional thing, a sponsored video of some kind. You know, you could play test it in a sponsored video. If they wanted to do something like that, having a professional way to reach you is critically important. And again, I talked about an audience being lazy. Businesses are not as lazy. They often have they want to be diligent in who they partner with. And so that's something to consider. But you also don't want to make it difficult either. And so having your email readily accessible here, protected from spam, but available for professionals, I think is a good thing to do, if that's something that you might be interested in the future. Monday shows. That's interesting. Your liked videos are public. Oh, sorry. It's been a day. That's interesting. I have my liked video set to private, and I think that is fine, because otherwise it's potentially driving people away from your channel in sort of an unusual way, because when it's from your playlist, there's so much here. Like, you don't want to have something that's not you competing. In other areas, it's fine. I just don't think this is where you would want to do that. It's weird. It's not pulling the thumbnail from some of this pie in the face stuff, which is interesting. Oh, it's that one video. It's a playlist with one video. That does happen sometimes. This happened to me. I don't know exactly what causes it or how to correct it. I really feel like I've looked at this channel before. Oh, I can't do Channelytics on this screen? Cool. Come here for my Channelytics. I like the little graphic here and how it appears. I think that's very professionally done in your video there. So kudos for that part. Let's see. Got some tags. The word comedy appears twice. And comedy channel, I see what you're doing here is you're doing it with capitalization and without. I don't think capitalization is a factor for tags. So I would remove the duplications where it's only different because of capitalization, and then maybe consider replacing it with something else. And again, there's a com here, which was probably ifundchris.com, but it interpreted the dot as a break between keywords. So you can put it in quotation marks, but I honestly don't think having your website URL as a keyword term is very effective, because I don't think people will be searching it. And if they are, they'll probably find you anyways. And here's the thing. I don't see pie face in here. So, like, take out the variance with the capitalization and instead maybe replace it with pie face comedy. Something like that. Pie face fun with pie face. I give you free permission to use those suggestions. Okay, let's see. What's going on with the views? You had a good day on June 19th. That was a spike. June 19th. Not a corresponding impact in subscriber growth, which is interesting. So what this is telling me is that maybe it got views, but there wasn't a call to action to subscribe, or maybe people didn't watch for long. I'm guessing it was probably a social share, or maybe driven by, no wait, that's you, by your video on June 18th. So what I would consider doing to understand and maybe replicate this view spike here would be to go into your analytics, try to narrow the time frame down to like the 18th to the 20th, or even go as far back as, say, the 16th to the 20th maybe, and look at traffic sources. And try to remember what you were doing around that time, if there are a lot of external traffic sources. If it's coming from like Facebook or Reddit or Twitter or other places, then double down in those places. If you can go back to find where things, like if this is one video, you could use Videolytics. I'll show you here. You can use Videolytics, TUBEBUDDY. I know you've got it, so I don't need to tell you to get it. Notice how they changed the SEO score? I might make a video about that. I'm thinking about it. But you'll see here, okay, there's a mention on Twitter. And by clicking on that, you can actually see how it was shared. Posted via TubeBuddy. Huh. I think I knew they had that feature. I've just never used it. I just used the share button. Cool. I'm guessing it wasn't shared on Reddit, or it was downvoted into oblivion. It looks like it was not shared on Reddit. So one thing, let me just make sure this is sharing properly. Yeah, it's sharing well enough. We've got Small YouTubers Boost has a subreddit. Sometimes I think it's one of our accidentally best kept secrets. It's got 2,000 members though, so wow. 9 of them right now. Come on, 9 people, watch the stream. Wow, things get really interesting there. Anyways, what we've done here with this is we've created a... let me just make it so you can see this a little bit better. we've created a, I'll put the chat back up in a moment, but what we've done here is we've created a subreddit that is meant to be a safe space for people, small YouTubers ideally, to experiment with Reddit. And so Reddit can be, I've been told and felt it myself, an intimidating place. People can be a little bit vicious. People can have rules that are impossible to follow. I joined a subreddit, I forget which one. It was a travel-based one, and they had 2 rules. They had like 18 rules, but the 2 that were important to this story, one was only share your own original content. Okay, I can do that, no problem. I read that, and I'm like, this is the place for me. This is what I've been looking for. Their next rule was no self-promotion. How in the Sam hell can you follow those 2 rules at the same time? I don't know. I was banned in about 14 seconds. And I'm not that upset about it. I'm almost proud because I'm like, you made impossible rules, and of course I fell victim to them because that was a trap. So that kind of experience people hear about, they often encounter. And so, like, this, I hope, is a safe space where you can experiment. You can see, like, what does it look like? Like, when you're on Reddit, you can create a post, and you can create a post that is a post or that's like a link. You can do some other things that I haven't even played with yet, but they display differently depending on how you do it. So, like, do I want to do a post where I'll put my link in the text, or do I just want to put the link in there and let it pull the title? What if it doesn't pull the title right? What does that look like? People have a lot of questions, and so what we've tried to do with Small YouTubers Boost is create a safe space where people can experiment and see how it looks, and maybe gain a little karma, a little bit of upvotes as well. We don't want to cheat the system by any means, no, but we do want to create a safe space where people can kind of see and test out what resonates without them, getting mercilessly attacked or banned in vicious fashion or banned from an important community. We've just got our little thing here, and you can experiment with it, is sort of the idea. And then take that knowledge and learning and then go and, hopefully find subreddits where you can find your audience. Our subreddit is probably not great for finding an audience because it's just going to be a bunch of other small YouTubers. So unless your video in some way helps small YouTubers, then it's just going to be luck and coincidence that you might find some audience there. So it's really more about the experience and the experimentation. One of the things that bothers me about some subreddits, other than that crazy rules thing, the Amazon customer service subreddit bothered me. When I was early in my experience with Reddit, and you might remember the solar eclipse. I'm like dating myself. I haven't been that active on Reddit, but I was trying to be active during the solar eclipse, and so the solar eclipse was coming, and we bought these these special eclipse shades off of Amazon. And then shortly after they arrived, there was a big news story about how there were a bunch of solar eclipse glasses being sold on Amazon that were not effective. And it was very difficult because it had just broken in the news to determine if ours were the real deal or not. We didn't know. And we were trying to reach out to Amazon customer service, but tons of people were doing so as well. So phone lines were jammed, emails weren't getting prompt responses, and so I thought I'm going to check out their subreddit and see if maybe, to me, I thought it would be great. Make a post, list all of like the model numbers and whatever that was okay. Put a list of these are okay, these aren't. Maybe there'd be a pinned post or something. There wasn't, and so I thought I would ask for something like that, right? And in order to get customer service support through Amazon's customer service subreddit, you have to have 100 karma. And that is a science fiction story to me. I just wanted to know if this was going to blind me. I have to have a certain level of popularity to find out if I'm going to be blinded? Are you kidding me? So clearly not a fan of that choice. I understand that it's probably to prevent spam and stuff like that, and that is a challenge. I get it. In our Facebook group, we get a lot of spam, and sometimes it's a challenge to deal with, and sometimes it takes a while for us to catch it and remove it. But that was like the moment, I think, between my experience in the travel subreddit and this Amazon thing. I'm like, no, I'm not okay with this. And that was, I think, the moment I decided to create Small YouTubers Boost, the subreddit. So maybe we'll pick up some karma so that we can, become popular enough that we can do things like make sure we don't get blinded by the sun. Ranty, I know. So, I mean, I'm not fully versed in the rules of Reddit. I'm sure that, like, karma for karma is probably not okay. A vote for a vote. So I'm not suggesting anything like that. But I am saying that this is a place where you can hopefully go and play with some relative sense of safety going on. And so I noticed that this wasn't shared on Reddit. And so that is a place where you can go and practice. And hopefully that will be okay. Yeah, Brickworld Therapy. I'm still playing around with Reddit. So much to learn. And it is. And so we've created a bit of a safe space there. Also, Brickworld or any other mods, if you want to be mods in the subreddit, let me know. I can set it up. Right now, Amanda's Right Life is sort of our lead mod in Reddit because I think she knows Reddit better than I do. I got a great team. There's people on our team that know things better than I do. Melanie knows SEO better than I do. Sasha knows mobile apps and mobile stuff better than I do. Elizio knows business a little bit better than I do in a lot of dimensions. And so I love the fact that I've been able to surround myself with people who are smarter than me. And I'm blessed by that, and I say thank you. Brickworld Therapy obviously knows Lego better than I do. We've got experts of all sorts. And so I'm greatly appreciative of them. So yeah, there we go. TubeBuddy's saying that I'm not no info card or end screen, but this is a 19-second video. I think that's too short for end screens. You could possibly still pop an info card on there, but that's probably not a big concern. You've got a couple of the hashtags going on here. iFunChris, good hashtag. Channel. I don't think channel is a good hashtag. Channel trailer. Channel welcome. That might be better. And then I think a third hashtag. You can have 3 hashtags. You put the hashtag, and then anything that comes after it without a space appears above the title in blue. It's clickable. It's like a little search thing, like most hashtags are. So they sort of began on Twitter that way. You can have up to 3. So I would update channel to say, like, channel trailer maybe. And maybe a third one that says something a little bit more descriptive. I'm thinking comedy. Would be a good third hashtag to have there. Oh, wow, look at this. They have definitely, TubeBuddy has upgraded Videolytics. Look at this. When you hover over things, it tells you what they are. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's the score, and it breaks it down. You're nailing it on this score. Well done, my friend. Let's see how those rankings. You got some good rankings there. I mean, they're around your channel name, but it's a channel trailer, so that's the best one could really hope for. Got quite a few likes on Facebook. You're doing well. You're dominating on Facebook there. Your like to dislike ratio, it's 8-0. That's fantastic. Yeah, you got a welcome there. That is cool. Doing some good stuff there. Let's see. Go back to the channel. Uploads. Yeah, these numbers are just not accurate. I did not upload 4 videos on May 31st. I think what happened was some videos that had been hidden because of copyright claims were unhidden on that day, in addition to an upload. So I bet that's what my fluctuation there was about. Shave head. I've got a video about shaving my head. Shave head. It's kind of cool. Got a few there. Your thumbnails are pretty solid. Easy to read. Making good use of the pie face logo in a way that pops quite nicely. I mean, got that going well. I think that'll probably be it for channel reviews. Don't have as much time as I would like, but let's see what kind of things are happening in chat. I'm going to slowly get caught up. Let's see what's going on in chat. Seriously, why isn't YouTube notifying me of your videos? That's weird, because when you subscribe with notifications on... Let's see if I can go to some channel. Let's go to Ace of Vegas. And then... So I'm subscribed, right? Love you, Ace. Sorry I don't have notifications turned on. I have notifications turned on for literally one channel. But that's just me. But let's say, let's turn on some notifications for Ace. When you click on the bell, you get some options here. None, personalized, and all. So, I mean, this is this is a pain. You know, I want to be a good partner for YouTube, but when they do something wrong, I'm going to say it. So you subscribe to a channel, and I'm just going to talk about the current world because it used to be better. But you subscribe to a channel. Does that mean you're going to get notified of when videos come out? No. Okay, I'll turn the bell on. Does that mean you're going to get notified about the videos? Not necessarily, because it, I believe, defaults to personalized, depending on how you do it. Like on mobile, I think it just defaults. Personalized is, once again, another algorithm coming in telling you what you really want. I'm not bitter or anything. So you get notified about some, but not all. How does it decide some? Computers. Algorithms, software, I don't know. It's a secret. So there's special sauce. And so if you want all the notifications, if you want notifications about all videos, then you want to click all, right? And then even then, because of occasional technical foibles and difficulties and malfunctions, even that can't be completely relied upon. How irritating is that? It's pretty irritating. So yeah, click the bell, click on all if you want to get notified about everything on this channel or whatever channel you're trying to fully subscribe to, and then hope that it bloody works. That's kind of the world we're living in right now in YouTube. But there you have it. And so, yeah, and the other thing too is we are on Twitter. Twitter is YouTubers_boost. There's a character limit on Twitter, so small YouTubers boost wouldn't fit. So we are YouTubers_boost. And so you can find us there. And so you can also follow us, and you can turn on notifications on Twitter as well. We do tweet pretty consistently whenever we go live or when we release a video. And so this is also another method that you can think of for other channels that you want to follow, and as a channel yourself, because we know of this struggle with notifications. There's a really solid reason to have Twitter, because sharing things to Twitter is immensely easy. So if I wanted to go into one of Ace's videos here, and let's say I wanted to share it to Twitter, I can just click share, click Twitter, and there it pops up for me. Nice and easy, right? So that's that. And so it's just, and it's even easier for you because I think this is in my uploading with TubeBuddy video on this channel. I'm not certain. But after you upload, you'll get a row of icons. You just click the icon and it'll pop up. It's even easier as you upload your video. So I really strongly encourage people to have Twitter, even if that's all you use it for, because it can be an alternative notification method to reach your audience when YouTube is being YouTube. All right, let's see here. Been hiding my sub count for a few days, and it hasn't really changed my subscriber counts at all. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, as I always say, there's 100 or thousands of things you need to do to succeed on YouTube, and I think and as a result, one of the problems with there being so many inputs is it's difficult to form a causal relationships. What causes what? Cause and effect, right? What things are coincidental, or like maybe, you know, if I change this and my views drop and my subscribers drop, does that mean changing that affected my subscribers? What if your views dropped for some other reason? Maybe you just were being recommended less and had nothing to do with that. And that was what drove everything. And so diagnosing what's gone right and doing testing is tricky. One of the few ones that you probably can rely upon is the A/B tests, which you can do with TubeBuddy. I believe that's only in the paid version. But what this is, and if you don't have it, tubebuddy.com/vacation. Check it out, affiliate link. Well, let me just do a search. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So for A/B testing, you actually, wow, you need Legend for that. Huh. Crazy. I haven't actually used it myself, but I believe Achilles Melee did and found it interesting. I've heard other people have used it successfully. So you can do 10 at once. That's what the limitation is here. So what that means is you can have 2 different thumbnails, and it will test which of the 2 thumbnails performs better. So it'll basically alternate the thumbnails, and you can see statistics on that. Yeah. Back up. Yeah, test your theories about what thumbnails work best for your audience. So that's one of the few sort of causal relationships that you really can with confidence know, but there's not a lot of things out like that out there, unfortunately. Animation Moo says hello. Hello. Sean Holden says, hey guys, thanks for inviting us, Lego Lady. Oh, hey, Lego Lady, thanks for inviting people. That's awesome. I appreciate it. King J says, hi. So much good information in these streams. Thank you. That is very nice to hear. Too much information. Hey, well, the great news is you can rewatch this to your heart's content. I do want to reach monetization on this channel because I want to experiment with Super Chat. I want to learn about Super Chat from a person who's used it, so I can speak experientially from first person. My Vacation Impossible channel is monetized, but I go live on that so very rarely, and my audience isn't really a Super Chat kind of audience. At least so far, in my experience there. And so I'm thinking that if I could get this channel to that monetization so I can test it and play around with it, then I can report back on how it works. I think that would be a good thing. But I'm only at like 27% of the needed watch time on this channel right now, so not anytime soon. Let's see here. But well, the point being is these live streams, you can rewatch them. And so they'll be available somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes or something after the broadcast. YouTube does a little processing and then immediately makes it available. And then you can rewatch at your heart's content, skip around, go to the parts where you find useful. You can feel free if you're watching this in the comments. If you're watching like on a replay, you can actually put a time code to a particular thing that you find interesting, and that would help other people find, here's where Ray rants about saying, welcome to my channel, or here's where Ray rants about content, or here where, Ray talks about thumbnail A/B testing or something. If anybody wanted to do that, that would be awesome. I would appreciate that. And then people could find things a little easier. I used to, and it's been a while since I've done it, taken little snippets of this, of these live streams, and then put them up as their own videos so that they'd be more searchable and people could get straight to the point of like a specific thing. I haven't done that in a while. I have a couple of videos that I've shot and haven't edited yet, and one I've written a script for but haven't filmed yet, about specific topics that are going to be coming soon on this channel. One is about how I keep my devices powered at home and when I travel for filming. Another one is my Snowball microphone review, I think I haven't put out yet. And then my SEO for channel tags video is the one I have the script for and I haven't filmed yet. It's a loose script. It's like, yeah. But anyway, so like those are some upcoming topics. So subscribe with notifications on. But I'm also thinking like I kind of prefer the idea of doing deep dives as their own videos rather than snippets of the live stream, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do we have to do to be one of the lucky ones to get a review? Join us early, and then speak up in chat right away. So notifications is the way to do that. And so it is sort of, there's a degree of chance. It's sort of a random lottery, but the number of requests for channel reviews far outpace my available time to do the free ones. So if you do want a paid channel review, the prices are fairly reasonable. For basically the cost of like 2 fast food lunches, I think is what I'm charging now. I don't want to say a number because it might go up or down depending on how busy I am, but it's not a lot. Then what you would get is 45 to 60 minute video of me reviewing your channel, including specific action items that you can take pretty much immediately. I'll post the video on this channel. You get a little bit of exposure from that, but the benefit also is that you can rewatch it as much as you want. It's focused solely on your channel, and then hopefully other people who watch it will be able to learn things for their channels as well. So that's sort of how that's working, and that is another option. Been working on the Lego robots, but the string I got is stronger than it should be. I'm going to try through. How is it being stronger than it should be a bad thing? I don't follow that. Let's see. Be the first to ask when he's live. Yeah. Just ask for one as early as you can. I came in late, but all the info he gives is helpful. He also posts his live streams. Yep. So that's all the stuff I just said. Waiting from the last 4 streams. Oh, I feel bad about that. I am going live again tomorrow. So today was the 250,000. I still can't believe that number. 250,000 members in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/small YouTubers boost. celebratory thing, and then tomorrow is just gonna be sort of our regular live stream. What's the difference? Not a whole lot. The subject, I mean, like the title and description of the live stream will be different, and I probably won't be featuring the balloons quite so prominently. Not a huge difference. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to go for tomorrow or exactly what time, but yeah. And like I said, notifications turned on. Follow us on Twitter. I'll post about it in the Facebook group. I'll post about it on the Small YouTubers Boost page as well. You know, I don't want to keep these live streams a secret by any means, but it is a bit of random chance involved in joining early. I found Chris, yeah. He goes slower through chat, but if you asked before, he will, yeah. It goes in order. Ooh, there's a question. After this live stream, can I watch it later? Yeah, I just answered that. Okay. I got excited for a question. Questions are fun. Not that I don't enjoy channel reviews, but channel reviews have a certain like repetitive pattern and nature to them in certain respects. And so questions, they can often hit me from left field, and I find that exciting. Post them within 24 hours, but don't quote me. No, it's an automatic setting on YouTube. You can make it so that your lives are visible afterwards. So they just have to do some sort of processing. I don't know what, and then it's available right after that. And sometimes I will go back, like maybe a day or two later, and I might trim a little bit. Like at the beginning, I had the music playing while I was doing social sharing and setup, and so I try to go back on some of the live streams and edit that part out so it jumps into the action sooner. I don't know if I want to do that now because I had the chat box up on the welcome screen, and so maybe having that, I don't know. And it's also a matter of like, do I have the time? So, but generally speaking, that's how that works. One of the mods mentioned Grammarly was a great way to edit descriptions like proofreading. Yeah, that's Mel, and well, we have two Mels actually now. So, what's her name? She keeps changing her channel name. Is it the Curious Coder? I think is the new channel name. Anyways, yeah, she's used Grammarly a lot. I keep telling her she should build an affiliate link. Because I haven't used it, but I've only heard good things. So, yeah. Just subscribe to your channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate anybody. And also, I mean, if you found any of this, hit like. And again, you know, if you really want to trigger the algorithm so that it's more likely to show you notifications when we're live, clicking like on the video helps. Because it's like it is more likely to show you that notification if it thinks you like the content. So that helps you and me at the same time. Suma Josh, how do you get reviewed here? You ask in chat nice and early. So, notifications. You've reviewed me before, but I'd love for you to see my growth. Of course, Isotope. Okay, yeah, I know. Isotope was one of those people who, like, they were in a couple of live streams before I actually got to them, but I did finally, thankfully. And so, yeah, the channel reviews I do here, the freebies, I'm now capping at a half hour, because I used to go like an hour, and this way I can help twice as many people. Skipped his request. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. That's an interesting thing to say. I'm volunteering my time and giving free half-hour channel reviews. I'm doing my best. I apologize if that doesn't feel fair. Maybe we need a different process. Maybe we do, like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they need to be all paid channel reviews. Maybe they need to be tied to super chats. I don't know. This is a supply and demand problem. I get hundreds of messages on Facebook every week. People asking me to do channel reviews. If I started a list, the list would be so long that by the time I got to some people, frankly, they probably would have quit YouTube because I think the burnout rate's pretty high. So I'm not sure that that would work. So I am open to suggestions. I'm sorry if you feel I'm being unfair to you in these free reviews that I'm offering. I am open to alternative suggestions. But I also have very limited time, and so I'm not looking for a very large, difficult to administrate way of keeping track of these things. His biggest pet peeve is welcome to my channel. Wow, what a nice response to an unreasonable comment. I like that comment. Yeah, you know, one of the things that's actually been really helpful for me lately, and I wasn't really using it then, but this book by Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference, This is how he managed to form strong relationships with hostage takers when he was the lead FBI hostage negotiator. So this has been so helpful for me in dealing with those sorts of requests. More so in a one-to-one situation. I don't know that if it works great when there's always a large audience, because I'm aware that I'm responding to one comment and there's a lot of eyeballs. This is more about one-to-one communication, conversations, but it does actually talk about when the specter of fairness is raised. And one of the things it recommends is asking the person to clearly identify how you've been unfair. And I think that was one thing that I was doing just then. I legitimately would like to know how I am being unfair. What fairness principle am I violating? I am imperfect. I am the first to agree with that. I'm easily distracted. I have more work than I have time. And so it is difficult to keep things sort of perfectly organized. And that is a struggle. This is a side of my desk thing. I am not making any money doing this. I have some affiliate links down below, but I can tell you that these live streams generate virtually no clicks on those. And even when they do it, it's a pretty small amount. And I appreciate people who do and stuff like that. But really, this is because I want to help people. That is part of my why that I was discussing earlier. And so, yeah, just doing the best I can with where I can fit it in. I have a day job. I have a primary channel. I have the Facebook group. And I have to say all of those probably come before the free reviews I do on this channel. I think I'm able to help more people in those avenues or, obtain, frankly, the means of living. So, yeah, I mean, this is a side project. This isn't what I'm primarily doing. This isn't what my primary focus is. I do enjoy these live streams. I hope they help people. And I do apologize if people think that I am being unfair in how I volunteer my time. It's best I can do, but I'm open to suggestions. And yeah, Brickworld Therapy in chat made a really good point that a lot of this information can be used for all channels. And that's true. My channel reviews frequently, I'm repeating myself a lot because I'm seeing a lot of similar issues time and again. And so like in our Facebook group, I'm trying to build units and topics that help address those so that I can hopefully assist a large group of people with these recurring issues. But also if you're watching somebody else's channel being reviewed, a lot of what I say applies to a lot of other channels. And so sometimes I'll admit that I despair that some people use channel reviews as nothing but a shout out opportunity. I'm not accusing anyone of doing that. Like I said, it's something that I fear sometimes, but I have no reason, no evidence to say that any particular person is doing that. But it does, I'm just conscious of it, that I would not be surprised if some people were trying to use it in that particular way. And that if maybe they thought me reviewing their channel would get them more views and subscribers. And it's possible it might. I honestly don't know. I have no way of measuring that because I don't have access to your analytics. And so it's possible. Maybe there is maybe you get a boost from being on the boost. I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if you did. Hopefully it would be because, people see things in your channel that speaks to them, and then maybe they choose to go and subscribe or whatever. I know that I have found channels I very much enjoy through this process myself. That's how I discovered Ace of Vegas, was during one of these. And so, I have appeared on his channel. We've collabed. We hung out in Vegas together, which was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again one day, when it's safe. And so, he got a subscriber out of me and he got some views and comments and likes out of me. Absolutely. I don't think that was his intent, and knowing him as I do, which isn't like super in depth, but having met him a few times and like kind of, I don't think that was his intent at all. And that's nice. But at the same time, it's hard not to acknowledge that there's some bad actors out there. We've actually had some people try to have hostile takeovers of the group. I was dealing with one just the other day. They were like, they wanted to do an ad campaign in the group. They were offering to pay me $1,050, unusual total, which actually Chris Voss talks about in negotiating, which is actually a pretty solid negotiating tactic. Check the book out for more on that. Amazon US affiliate link down below. They were going to pay me $1,050 to run an ad in the group, and they didn't even tell me how they were going to run the ad, like what it was going to be or anything, for 5 weeks. But here's the kicker. For it to be effective, they needed admin access to the group. No. That makes no sense. They were like, oh, well, we have code that only works at the admin level. And I'm like, you want me to help you inject code into Facebook? What do you think group admin access gives you access to? There's no such thing. Like, and I kind of went around and around with them sort of for fun as I was doing other things. I'm like, I'm just going to troll this total scammer. And so I was like, okay, where do you put the code? And they're like, in a post. And I'm like, okay, when an admin makes a post, we can't put anything in there that we couldn't put as a regular member. As the administrator of Small YouTubers Boost, I have precisely 2 powers when it relates to what I post. One is to mark it as an announcement. The other is to make it the pinned announcement. That's it as far as I know. And I'm like, and if there's more powers, y'all need to explain it to me, because I'm not handing over the keys to the castle to this person who I've never met before. Oh, and did I mention that they initially reached out to me by commenting on something on my personal private Facebook? And that's not great. Oh, and so here's something I learned recently. I do have direct contact with Facebook employees, and they taught me something recently I didn't know about, because they stumbled across it. They didn't even learn it at work, which is kind of funny. But you can set your public, like your personal page on Facebook, your public posts, you can control who comments without affecting visibility. And so I've definitely done that because there are certain people on the internet who don't understand boundaries. And so now I've set it so that like my public post can be viewed by anyone because it's public, but only I think friends of friends or friends can comment. And that has cut down on the inappropriate comments on my personal stuff nicely. So if that's a problem you're facing on Facebook, go into the privacy settings. On desktop, it's very easy to find. And it's actually, there's a little tab, public posts. On mobile, it's a little harder to find because they don't have the public posts thing. But if you dive in, and you can control who can comment on your public posts without restricting who can see your public posts. Thank you, Facebook. I'm enjoying that new thing. Because yeah, that's how that person initially reached out to me, and well, now that has now been made impossible. Yes, somebody was asking why I was sorting my videos. I was showing about how to sort your videos. It was a quick little demo, a little tutorial is what that was. I didn't know about that. Time to update my privacy settings. Lolita's adornments. Yeah. Oh, I should mention that in the mod group and the mod chat and tell the world, because I'm loving it. Hashtag McDonald's. Fell ass backwards into that slogan. Mr. Sykes Gaming says hello, everyone. Mr. Sykes, welcome back. Been in a few of these live streams. Cooker Sizers. This is my first live stream. It's so cool that you actually respond. Yeah, I just take forever, as you're probably experiencing right now. Gives out so much information in these streams. I hadn't even thought of playlist video order. Wow, that I love it when I can do that. That is fulfilling for me. This is part of my why. It's like I stumbled across something that somebody didn't know, someone completely by accident, and it might make a big difference on their channel, and that's just amazing. If I can have a small contribution into somebody's success there, that would just mod here as well as the group. Yeah, Brickworld Therapy is a unique story because I think she's the only one who started as a mod here on YouTube and then became a mod in Facebook. And then we had Amanda's Right Life, who started as a mod on Reddit and then became a mod on Facebook. Achilles Melee started as a mod here and then became a mod on Facebook. Yeah, okay, so I guess he kind of, yeah, but I know him in person, so that's different. Let's see here. Mice Elf Welcome. Oh, I'm not saying that full name, but hello. That's funny. Her name is hard to pronounce. I wonder if we should change it or just call ourselves Rosie and Alicia. No, don't change it, is my advice. Sorry, I have I'm going through chat, but I also see I have on the side now with the thing I can see the live chat as well. No, what you have right now, if you are about cooking, keep it, because that's way more searchable than just your first names. If you're not about cooking, then okay, maybe. Let's see here. Well, it depends on how much time he has. Yeah. Say the banner was covering it. Oh, yeah, I got that. Amazing platform. I got tremendous traffic to my channel from this. Oh, okay. Apparently I drive traffic. Can I drive traffic to myself? How am I driving traffic? That's crazy. I'll take it. Okay, awesome. Thanks. We're about cooking and healthy lifestyle. Yeah, no, I think your name is good if it's about cooking. Keep it. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Because if it's just a couple of first names, it doesn't tell people what you're about. That'd be a step in the wrong direction. Please don't let me lead you astray. Let's see. We only have 20 subscribers since starting this month. 20 in a month starting off is solid. That's good. You know, you say only, but like that's actually a really strong start. Any advice you can give would be awesome. I mean, give as much advice as I can. We have, I wish I had the knowledge of a hacker. Yeah, true. So there are a lot of videos here. And honestly, like in the description below me, down there are quite a few links to some useful things. The biggest one is TubeBuddy. At the very least, if you don't have it, please promise me you'll go get the free one. It costs you nothing. The browser plugin is amazing, even the free iteration. I have Legend for my primary account, Vacation Impossible, but I've kept myself to the free version for this channel, and I think it's hindered the growth a little bit. I'd be doing better if I got one of the paid plans, but I'm doing that because I want to be able to see the difference between the free and the Legend. And so like I can see having everything and having the totally free, and then I can check when people ask me questions. I can do tutorials. I've got it all there. It's my sandbox to play in. But even the free version is so fantastic. You get Videolytics. You get Channelytics. You get 3 tag suggestions per video. You get partial checklists on the free version, all that stuff. Huge, huge thing. So yeah, it's affiliate link. If you do happen to want to get a paid plan, I do get a little something from that. But more importantly, if you do get a paid plan, if you're not in our Facebook group, please join facebook.com/group/smallYouTubersBoost. And in the announcement section and in the units, I believe, yeah, in both, you will find a discount code that'll save you 20%. So if you do get the paid version of TubeBuddy, for the love of God, don't pay full price. Please. There's better places to spend your money. TubeBuddy is a great way to spend your money, but don't pay full price. Nobody pays full price. Some other resources down below, especially for those of you starting out or even just who might not know. Epidemic Sound. I, for years... Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. Less than 1,000 subscribers, you get 50% off. Now, that I want to mention. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about like how to get the best deal at TubeBuddy, all right? There are 3 paid tiers. And the less than 1,000 subscribers only affects the Pro, but it knocks the price down in half. Now, that 50% off is stackable with paying for a year at once. So if you pay for a year at once and have less than 1,000 subscribers, it works out to only $3.60 per month. Are you kidding me? So cheap. I make so much more than that just in my revenue and my AdSense revenue, and I wouldn't have gotten monetized without TubeBuddy. It doubled my traffic from search and astronomically sent up my subscriber count that I was finally able to get monetized on my primary channel. I got it in August of 2018. I hit the monetization threshold in November and got monetized that December. Very easy to draw that line of causality. So anyways, that's Pro. Now, Pro has a decent set, but above Pro, you'll notice that having less than 1,000 subscribers doesn't change Star or Legend. So our discount code that gets you 20% that you get from our Facebook group is stackable with paying yearly, but it's not stackable with this 1,000 subscriber thing, unfortunately. If only it did. So if you have more than 1,000 subscribers, go get our code. Or if you want the Star or the Legend, go get our code. Save that 20% and then pay for a year at once to save another 20% on top of whichever discount you're using. That's the smart way to go. I highly recommend it. Some other resources down below. I've already talked about our subreddit, which I don't have linked, but it's Small YouTubers Boost. It's easy to find, so you can play there. We've got Epidemic Sound. For years, my channel Vacation Impossible, I just used whatever music I liked, and I got content ID claims all over the place. I still have them there on my older content, and it sucks. Partly because I can't monetize, but more so because the people who own the copyright keep changing their minds about how they feel about that. So one day, my video will be viewable everywhere, but they'll make money from the ads. I'm fine with that. That's fine. And then another day, the video will be muted, but visible everywhere. Not great. Kind of makes me look bad. And then another day, it won't be visible in, like, Germany. And then another day, it won't be visible anywhere. because their policies, the rights holder can change their policies at any time. Once they make that initial claim, you get notified about the initial claim, but every change they make after that, you don't get a notification. And that's why sometimes my number of videos goes up by 3 or 4, because BMG or somebody who has the rights to that music, and I don't dispute that, they have those rights and they should make the ad revenue off of it. I'm fine. I like the artists. I want to support them that way. I was fine with that. It's when they tweak it to mute it or hide it in certain countries and that they constantly change it and you don't know. That sucks. And so you want to avoid all that BS and that nonsense. Epidemic Sound. Links down below. You can try it free for a month. Every video you upload during your free month, you own those rights to those videos forever. And then it's something like, I think if you pay a month at once, or sorry, a year at once, it's like less than $13 a month it works out to. And so they've got a massive catalog of music and sound effects. Now, I'm lucky. I've got a guy named Cam who writes music to de-stress, and he lets me use his music. And so I'm good for music. What I'm not good for is sound effects. So I need a good sound effect of like a door closing, and like the actual sound of my door closing doesn't sound like a door closing when you record it. It's kind of weird. So I just do a quick search in Epidemic. They've got like 6 door closing sounds. They're all fantastic. So I really like the sound effects. I don't really use the music, but they're used by some top YouTubers, very professional. Get a free month. If you wanted to be really sneaky about it, get like a month's worth of content ready to go. Get the free month, then just use it and upload like something every day. Just go hard. But then, yeah, I mean, if it works for you and you want to use it beyond that, then it's a pretty reasonable thing. And, you know, if you've gotten to the point where, you know, you're technically a small bit, like I guess I'm technically a small business owner. I've had to declare my YouTube earnings on my taxes the last 2 years. And so I could claim things like that, at least in my jurisdiction, as a deduction against those earnings. So it actually limits my tax liability when I pay for things like, you know, TUBEBUDDY or Epidemic or whatever. You know, when I buy business cards and things like that. And so I'm not giving tax advice. I'm not an expert, but that's also something to consider. You know, I'm all about investing in yourself. I mean, I've got my little self-help books that I really like. And so I invest in myself with time as well by going and I'll watch tutorial videos and I'll watch Roberto Blake's live streams. He's amazing. Check him out. You know, there's so many places out there that you can learn. So you can invest in yourself with time. You can invest in yourself with money by buying products as well. That's another, you know, potentially good way. And also, I mean, hey, maybe you can get those books in the library or something, and then it's just a matter of the time and the effort and the hassle of going to a library if they're open, you know, if they're still things when all is said and done at the end of this particular virus thing. But there's so many different ways to invest in yourself, and one of them is being here for this live stream. So I just want to say thank you for spending the time with me. I'm not wrapping up quite yet. I'm just wanting to take this moment to say thank you, and because you're investing in yourself. And the fact that I'm part of your journey is so amazing. And so thank you. Some other resources that I've got linked down below. I think I already mentioned PlaceIt. If you're having trouble getting an intro, and again, up until a couple of months ago, I had no intros. If you struggle with end cards, again, the link down below saves you 15%. It works out to, I think, a little less than $13 a month with the discount. And they also have templates for like Instagram stories and a bunch of other things. I'm just starting to really learn it myself, but I've been using it for intros here on this channel. It also has like graphics you can use mid-video, like if you're having a list and stuff. You can upload your own pictures and it incorporates it into the animation. You can change the text and the colors. It's awesome. And so that's taken both of my channels to the next level. That's fantastic. What else do I have linked? I have the books linked down below. All of those are good resources. For other things, for particularly people who are just starting out, again, I can't say it enough, join the Facebook group. We do have a backlog right now. There are about 7,000 people waiting to come in. I only let in about 1,200 today. We're trying to manage the intake so that when people misbehave, we can manage them before it gets out of hand. So I'll probably let in another 1,000 tomorrow or something. But so, you know, if you're waiting, I thank you for waiting. It is to your benefit and the groups. We want to do it in a managed way. But once you're in the group, check out the units. We've built 6 or 7 units now that cover a variety of topics. One of them is Audacity and how you can use this free software. This is just like, there's no affiliate link or anything. It's just a link to their download page. You can use Audacity to remove noise from sound recordings. And so I actually have a unit there that has the link to download it and text step-by-step instructions as to where to click to remove noise from your audio. That's a great resource. I showed you Social Blade earlier. The stats that they show, you have to, for your channel, you have to have your subscriber count visible, but the stats that they show can be useful. I caution people against drawing too many conclusions from it. For example, if you see a drop in views, that could be a video getting copyrighted. It might not be that the views were audited away. Those things can happen for a variety of reasons. So it's useful information, but put it with a grain of salt, because some people look at Social Blade and they're like, they're doing sub for sub because they lost a bunch of subs. No, maybe they said something offensive. Maybe a bunch of accounts got closed. They might not have done. It's a sign that maybe, but try not to use it to draw huge conclusions. So there's a lot of like free, low cost, and some higher cost options out there. One of the higher cost ones, other than like a legend license with TubeBuddy, which is, in my opinion, worth it, but pricey, not for everyone. But ViralStat, I think I've got linked down below, provides like real in-depth statistical data for YouTube. Like in writ large about like what videos are trending upwards and stuff like that, or in niches, in certain terms, in certain channels. But it's a lot of data, and that can be really intimidating. And it's difficult, I'll be honest with you, it's difficult to take that data and turn it into an action item. But if you've got a brand you're trying to protect, if you've got an established brand and you're thinking about partnering with someone and you're wondering about like where their views are coming from lately, what direction is that channel trending in, things like that can be very useful. I find myself, you know, often saying, oh, no, wait, I know how I can figure this out. I need to go to ViralStat. And so I'll use it every now and then. But like the cheapest way you can get it, I think, is $20 a month. And that's like with some limited functionality. There's a free 14-day trial. You can give it a try if you want. But like I caution people. I say like this is only if you're really serious. And I think if you're honestly established to a certain degree, but if you're a data junkie, if you're into, you know, you're not intimidated by large numbers, then it can be actually quite great for that. So those are just some resources out there. Some good, some you know, some free, some not, some great, some okay. But again, TubeBuddy. I mean, I use TubeBuddy every single day. So, I mean, that's the one that makes the biggest difference for me. And, I mean, for people who are like, oh, you're just pushing your affiliate links, I can very easily make more money by pushing something that is not TubeBuddy, that is okay and is good, but I don't believe in as much as TubeBuddy. So, believe me, this is not a numbers game. It's not a math thing. I got a day job. Although, it would be amazing to do this full time. I mean, then I could do so many more reviews and spend more time managing the group and stuff. That would be something. That would be amazing. Let's see. I'm getting caught up on chat here. We ordered mics. Yeah, I have some. The microphone I'm using right now is a Fine with a $10 pop filter. I've got links to that down below. I'm using this webcam, but as you saw when I held things close to it, like for example my notepad, not great. So it's an okay webcam, but in all honesty, I would recommend probably going with LG or something else. This was a gift. Thank you for the gift. But the webcam, I don't think it's good value, full disclosure. But the microphone I have linked down below, it's about $35 on Amazon. It's fantastic. $10 pop filter. If you're using any kind of desktop microphone, you need a pop filter. It's like a no-name thing. $10, but it lasts forever. It makes a huge difference in some of those harsher sounds. And then if you're looking for something a little fancier than that, there's the Snowball, which I recommend in the units in our Facebook group. So lots of stuff going on there. Reddit, so many rules on Reddit, playing around with Reddit. No, I'm busy with this mod on the Facebook page. Yeah, Facebook is, the Facebook group is just so much. It's just been exploding. 64 Tech is here. The bell set to all, but still doesn't tell me anything. Frickin' YouTube, man. You know? Salty. I'm salty. Bella's like Ford, works when it feels like it. What do they say? It stands for fix or repair daily. I want a Tesla so bad. I want a self-driving Tesla. I think the cheapest self-driving Tesla you can get in Canada is $66,000 Canadian. So for anyone who's trying to buy my group from me or my integrity, the bidding starts at $66,000 Canadian. Would I trade the group in for a Tesla? Maybe. I also calculated that to live on a cruise ship for an estimated rest of my life, I need about 2.1 million. So for about 2.1 million, I'd do almost anything. You know, they say everybody has a price, and I didn't really buy into that. And then one day I sat down and did the math on that cruising thing, and I'm like, hey, I have a price now. I know what it is. Let's see here. I'm going to repost the link for this channel in the post I created to help by looking at channels. It's going to take a while to get through that list. Cool. Thank you. Also, it was wonderful that you were doing that. You know, Mel and I, a couple of times we had posted something about like, you know, ask your question and we will respond probably with a link to a resource. And that was fun. I would like to do more of that. I wish I could kind of carve out more time. Yeah, getting the group more under control. Maybe I can start doing a bit more of that. That was good. I enjoyed doing that. And sometimes I just didn't have a link. I'm like, I'll just explain it here and type it out. I'll start stalking or following you on Twitter. I am on, yeah, I mean, hey, if you wanted to. I've got 3 Twitter accounts that I manage. One is the YouTubers one, here, the Small YouTubers Boost. Just throw it up there. And I also manage the Vacation Impossible Twitter account, which is at VacayImpossible. And I am personally Cowman. But that is where, like, I might get a little political, a little, you know, you might see me complaining, customer service issues resolving, and who knows. So you might want to stay away from the Cowman one. You know, full warning. Lolita's Adornment says, Lolita's Adornment says, I don't know why I keep stumbling over that. 250K. Yes. I couldn't get a K on our budget of nothing. But still, yeah, I can't. And that's the funny thing now is because there's times where I try to explain to people, they're like, why are you on your phone? I'm like, oh, I'm doing something for my group. What group? Oh, well, it's a group of small YouTubers. Why are you doing this at dinner or whatever? And then I'll be like, well, there's like 200,000 people in there, whatever. And now the shorthand, the easier way to explain it is it will be easier to say 250,000. I mean, it might sound like a flex, but whatever. It's just faster and simpler and easier because people are like, why are you caring about a Facebook group so much? It's like, well, there's 250,000 people in there. Maybe that'll help them understand. Maybe, you know, people will get it that way. So it's, yeah. Well, and the funny thing too is we try to do a cleanup and a live stream every 100K. So right before we hit 100K, we slowed down admissions, cleaned things up, and then we did it all at once, let the 100K in, or crossed the 100K threshold, and I did a live stream. And then I did the same thing for 200K. And so I probably will again for 300K. I think it's just good practice. It's like, you know, trimming the tree, bonsai, whatever you want to call it, a spring cleaning. But the thing is like, if we're at 250 now, and we've got 7,000 people waiting, how long is it going to take before we're ready for 300K? I mean, I imagine the growth will slow down or stop or even reverse at some point. We did have a period earlier this year where for a couple of weeks we were losing 100 per day. You know, so I mean, that's fine if that's what it is. Still plenty of people to help. More than I could ever hope to, one-on-one. But, like, place your bets, man. I don't even know when 300K is going to happen. But if we're functionally really at, like, 257 right now, with all those people that are waiting, then I'm just kind of like, hold on. We're getting things ready for you. We're just, you know, give it a spit shine, a little polish on the group. Oh, that's going to be, yeah. I can't even. It is always so nice. I try. I saw people get my goat sometimes, and so I feel bad sometimes. Sometimes I do have that harsh response, but I have certain buttons, and maybe I shouldn't advertise it. But it's like when people question my integrity and why I do things, that just sets me off, and it is hard sometimes to remember principles like from never split the difference and other things, and just try to, you know, rein it in and not take it personally. But it's like when people say like, oh. You know what it is when people say things about me that are just completely untrue. And they speak like they know me better than I know myself. That irritates me in a way that I have trouble controlling. I'm getting slowly a little better at it, but it's really hard. You know, Ray, you're just all about the numbers. I'm like, no, the numbers are driving me crazy. You know, or it's like, oh, it's just about your affiliate links or whatever. Like, oh, you're promoting TubeBuddy because they give you money or whatever. It's like... It's crazy. Like the numbers just don't support it, honestly. You know, like, yeah, there was one month where people were just ripping me apart because they thought I was a shill and a stooge for TubeBuddy. I made literally $7 in TubeBuddy affiliate money that month. And I'm like, you really think my integrity is worth $7? Are you out of your mind? And they're like, no, you're making 5K. And I'm like, well, A, that would be lovely. Not true. And also, like, you made that number up. And you're putting that up as truth against my truth that I know and have data to support. Like, those people, ugh, gosh, they're the worst. You know, sub for subbers, you know, like, whatever. They are misled. Maybe they think they're being helpful. They're easy to forgive. I'll ban them, but I won't do it with malice, you know? But it's the people who just, like, what is it somebody said? Like, somebody the other day was messaging me, and they said, you only have 6 active mods. And I'm like, where do you get 6 from? It's just completely untrue. You know, I have metrics and analytics and stuff that I can look at, and it's like in things like post approvals and post rejections, and what's the third one? Is it? It's not member removals. Post removals. That's what it is. Facebook gives me metrics on those 3, and each one of those 3 is a top 15. If I only had 6 people active, it would be a top 6. As I was like, you're just. So, and that's one of the things. It's like, I don't think we should be super casual with facts. And so, like, that's just, yeah. And then I will share with them a screenshot that shows that they're demonstrably incorrect and what the actual numbers are. And then they'll come back with, well, you're focusing on the wrong thing. And I'm like, I'm not letting you lie, though. I'm not saying that's the most important thing. I'm saying that lying about numbers that are demonstrably provable bothers me. So anyways, enough negativity about that. You're not violating any fairness principles. I appreciate that. I if anything, I'm tripping. And I'm running too fast and I'm tripping. But I'm certainly not violating fairness principles intentionally. It may seem that way, and I do apologize, but, you know. The funny thing is that the people who will often accuse me of being unfair will immediately challenge my credibility and then say, like, why should people listen to you anyways? And I'm like, I'm not telling anybody that they should. I never say it, like, you know, I will give you facts and figures. I started filming things, travel videos, in 2001. I shared them on GeoCities and MSN and ICQ. You know, and then YouTube came along and I created an account so I could watch Pet Shop Boys videos. Legit. In 2006, it was because I was watching Pet Shop Boys videos on YouTube. I was like, oh my god, they've got music videos on YouTube. Okay, now I see why YouTube's cool. I like Pet Shop Boys. I'm gonna go watch their videos. I'm a giant fan. I also enjoy, you know, Sarah McLachlan and stuff like that. That's why I originally got on YouTube. You know, and then, like, I was supporting I'm just having fun with CDs now. I supported my friend Warren Dean Flandes. Check him out on Spotify. But anyways, I was just really, like, that was awesome. Bare Naked Ladies. Great Canadian band. I'm just plugging stuff now. I'm not sure how much time I have, so I don't want to dive into something that'll take too long. That's why I can't commit to a channel review, yet I'm still going. And so I joined in 2006, and then in 2008, I started uploading my old videos. And so if you go back, the first video I uploaded was the Hell's Gate video, which was shot in 2001. And I had hair, so enjoyed that weirdness. Though I shot it, I encoded it on a computer at 144 pixels in resolution. Our second season, where we went to Anaheim, we went up to like 210 pixels, and I was like, oh my. Anyway, so, like, I've been on the platform for a long time. My vacation channel has 2,000 subscribers. This channel has 1,000. Those are numbers and facts that can be easily verified and whatever. And I am not saying that gives me authority to speak to anything. Just tells you about who I am. And the funny thing is I started these live streams because people in the group asked me to. So, you know, that I'm not saying I'm an expert. But at the same time, hey, you know, I've done a couple things. And one thing that it's kind of like what's that old saying? Those who can't coach. And so people are like, well, you don't have 1 million views yet, so you can't tell anyone to do anything. And I'm like, hey, I make recommendations. But also, hey, those who can't coach. And maybe I can't, but maybe I can coach. I don't know. I have a list to buy from Amazon. Yeah, I may have added to that. Oh, actually, there's a bookseller here in Canada that gave me a discount thing that I have to use by the end of the month. I don't think there are any new Star Trek novels, so I don't know. Does anyone have a recommendation for a book I should read? Scammers are so annoying. They are. I like to play with them sometimes. And that's the thing, again, about this book. This never split the difference. People would start by messaging me, and like this seems like a full-on fail from the beginning, right? It will be a link to their channel or their video, and it'll just say sub for sub. And they'll send that to me in a private message. And so in the past, what would I do? I would go and ban them from the group if they were there, and put the note on it that it's sub for sub, and then I would just block them and I'd be done with it. Or I'd just leave it, not reply. But I tried some of the things from this. Right, and I mentioned in my recommended books on page 3 in here, I got advice that alone made a huge difference, and so I started responding to them when I have the time, partially for fun, partially because I wanted to test this, because he makes certain assertions in this book where he says like this always works, and I'm like, always? Really? 7 billion people in the world, it always works? There's going to be exceptions to everything, and so some of them I've tested. I'm like, no. It really and so I would reply with some of the things that the book recommends, and I would get responses with, I'm so sorry for bothering you. I got a spammer to apologize, and I didn't even ask him to. Okay, normally it's F you, Ray. And then I have to report the conversation, or like they threatened to murder me. There's this guy who keeps sending me messages saying that he wants to punch me and the other mods in the face. He sent it from multiple Facebook accounts and Instagram accounts, and I keep reporting it all over the place, and I'm like, this is a waste of everyone's time. And kind of disturbing, can we acknowledge. And then he says, don't take it seriously, let me back in your group. Yeah, right. I'm not even going to try negotiating with that guy. Although maybe I should. Maybe I can stop him. Oh, geez, I should probably try. Because, yeah, he's messaging some of the mods, too. Maybe the next time Yeah, I should probably give that a try. Because that's the thing, it takes time and effort, but a lot of these sub for subbers who were link spamming me in comments and messages and things, I'd be like, I would actually get them to the point where they would understand why sub for sub doesn't work. For the record, it's a violation of YouTube's fake engagement policy. Will get your channel shut down. There's people who often say like, oh, it gets you dead subs and stuff like that. And while true, that's like the weak tea version of why you shouldn't do it. The real reason is you could lose everything you've been working for on your channel. Say that clearly and plainly into the microphone and the camera. You will lose potentially years of work. And that's hard to watch. And I've seen it happen hundreds of times, maybe thousands. At least hundreds of people have come into the group, said, I've lost my channel. I did nothing wrong. We would ask them a couple of questions, ask for maybe a notification, a screenshot of the notification or something, and pretty quickly it would come out that they had done sub for sub. Your story is over. Technically, by the rules and terms and conditions of YouTube, you're not even allowed to create another channel after that. Now, maybe some people have, they might get around it, I don't know, and that's, I'm not advocating that or whatever. But it's really kind of game over for everything. Why do we take it so seriously? Why are you such a jerk about sub for sub, Ray? Because it will end you on YouTube. It will end you. And I don't want to see that happen. And I want you convincing other members in my group to find that same fate. It's no good for anybody. It's heartbreaking. I don't like it. So that's why that's a thing. But through the strategies from Chris Voss's book, link down below, just by asking the right questions in some cases, and some of his other strategies, mirroring, accusation audit, these various things, they almost never degrade into threats of physical violence. Now, this guy that's messaging me right now, he started with threats of physical violence. Difficult place to begin. But they don't degrade like they used to. I used to try and say, like, no, I don't do that because it's a violation of YouTube's terms. Like, oh, we know how to get around it, or you're just a wuss, or whatever. And it would always end up degrading into some sort of insult fest. But the percentage at which these things have gotten there lately, much lower. And when it did go, I don't believe in always, but I gotta say that every time it did go there is when I got upset, or I stopped following the principles from this book. So I could do better at that. Phenomenal admin powers. Yeah, announcements and pins. I mean, I can remove people and ban people and, set up keyword alerts and some other things. But as it relates to posts, not a lot. Not unless, I don't know. I've got a little bit of training from Facebook, but it was about things that it was about like how to grow your group when you're small. And I'm like, we're past that. And so, but not a lot of the technical stuff. some tips and tricks here and there that I'm not sure I'm at liberty to reveal. But no special powers for things I can post. Would that it were. And if it is, hey, prove me wrong in the comments, please. Get at me in the comments, as Brennan from College Humor would say. I've never had any social media until now. It's interesting. You're starting with YouTube. YouTube's an interesting one to start with. It's complex and difficult to find success, but in a way, I think it can be, depending on how you use it, a bit more pure in a way. It's really easy on Twitter to get dragged into a fight, or to overreach, or to unintentionally be mean. I think Twitter, it's too easy to go down that road. And I say this as I have Twitter up on the screen. Hypocrisy. I'll own it. Instagram seems more positive, but not entirely. And so I think you're starting in a good place. Because you are in so much more control on YouTube than a lot of other areas. I think. You set the tone with your channel. You can delete comments. You can ban people, although they can come back with a different account or not logged in. But yeah, no, I think you make videos about positivity, and you're more likely to find positivity. And so, yeah, no, I think it's a great platform. I mean, partly because my medium is video. I love video. I love performing. I love helping people, all that kind of stuff. And so for me, I think it's a good one. Yep, the additional 20% off TubeBuddy. So yeah, less than 1,000. If you're happy with the lowest paid tier, it works out to $3.60 a month if you pay it for a year at once and you have less than 1,000 subscribers. I'm in the middle of an experiment. I hid my sub count, and over the last 3 days, gained 12 subs. And again, it's hard to know that there's a causal relationship there. It could be something else. It's hard to know. I could be wrong about that, though. This is my personal theory. I don't know about the 20% off for a full year. And it could be a big commitment. That's fair. I can appreciate if somebody is hesitant about that. 50% also applied to Star. That's too bad. Yeah, no. They don't make it super clear on the website, and that's a shame. I did actually create part of the TubeBuddy unit actually breaks down the various price combinations on a little chart, just because it's a little complicated. But it's a shame, because if you can wrap your head around that little bit of complexity, you could save a lot of money. Epidemic Sound is the greatest. I use it for my videos. So Operation Life and Brick World Therapy, strong endorsements there. Some of my subs have stated that they randomly, I guess that's sing my theme song that you got from Epidemic Sound. That's cool. My guy Cam, I asked him to write me a theme song, and he gave me two, and one of them was really good. One of them I don't really use that much, but it's not catchy. It's not really a song in that sense. It starts off with the sound effect of a plane taking off or landing, and then it gets into this good guitar riff, which is kind of cool, but yes, it's not like the angry video game nerd, you know. It's gonna take you back to the past to play the. I'm gonna stop singing. Yeah, business expense. Yeah, and so claiming it as a business expense, depending on your jurisdiction, you might not get like all of that amount off your taxes, but it just kind of further reduces the actual cost out of pocket for you for things potentially, depending on your jurisdiction and how it's claimed, how things are claimed as a deduction. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. That reminds me of the Pet Shop Boys song. I don't know what you want, but I can't give it anymore. Off of, I don't know, one of these CDs. Not that I listen to the CDs anymore. I just couldn't get rid of my Pet Shop Boys CDs. I just couldn't. I've met them twice. I have tickets to their next concert here in Vancouver. They are life for me. 7,000 people waiting. Yeah. Should we check that number? I'll do it in a separate window because I'm just concerned about sharing too much from Facebook. I don't want to share things that other people have posted without their permission, if I can avoid it. But let's see. How many people right this moment are waiting to get into the Small YouTubers Boost group? I just got to add a couple numbers together because it puts the people and the pages separately. 7,839 people currently waiting. I'll probably let in another 50 odd after this live stream. I'm frozen like an ice queen from Frozen. Bad internet. Bad. Well, you can always rewatch. Influence Magnet says hi. That's kind of a cool name. I like that. The Arizona thunderstorms. Man, like Arizona doesn't have enough going on right now. Jeez. Aren't you guys like the worst state for the unnamed virus right about now? It's hard to watch. Posted 9 videos in the last 2 weeks. Impressive. Workout in the rain. Sounds like a 90s song. Cool idea. Full disclosure. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Found on the road dead. Yeah, it's another acronym for Ford. Leftover rebuilt Dodge. 6 videos in the last 10 days. I'm a YouTuber. Motivation niche. Motivation's cool. Like, I really enjoy, like, the self-help authors that I talk about, in my, 4 books that every YouTuber should read video, and that I've got linked down below. I can certainly say that Simon Sinek, Chris Voss, and Andrew Matthews have good videos on YouTube that serve to motivate. I have a video on this channel about motivation for YouTubers. I followed my own advice earlier today to get off my butt. There's a video coming out on Vacation Impossible of me walking around in Vegas at night. I was not motivated to work on it, but my advice is take one step so you can feel at least one step closer to your goal. And as soon as you do that, then you get momentum. And I've already fully edited the video, and I'm going to render it after this live stream and then upload it. So, yeah. Yeah, motivation videos are really key. I find watching Roberto Blake videos really motivational for me as well. Even when he's talking about things that I don't care about. Just listening to him talk. Kind of like, yeah. So it's a good niche. And you've got a name that's kind of cool. Influence Magnet. And it's a motivation niche. I like it. I was expecting entrepreneurial, but motivation's great. That aligns reasonably well as well. I was going to work on personal schedule, actually set aside time for helping in the group. I appreciate that. I'm so appreciative of our volunteer moderators. They are so nice and so helpful, and I can't believe I'm lucky enough to have them. And I don't know what I did to get them, but I count my lucky stars every day. Join Facebook group, feeling lucky. Hey, if you made it in, if you made it in the last week or so, you're one of the lucky ones. I'm going to admit that when I do intake into the group, when I try to control the flow, I prioritize people who have profile pictures and who have been on Facebook for more than 2 years. Because those are less likely to be the spammers and scammers. And I often find if their account is less than a year old and they have no profile picture, by waiting a period before letting them in, their account often ends up getting deactivated anyways, and so I don't let them in the end. So it's one of the ways that we try to manage that stuff. Interesting things came up in chat. So there's a person out there who has a problem with our group. I'm sure there's more than one, but I don't want to mention anyone by name. I will say that I reached out to that person before I read this book. I might have done a better job after I read it. I did everything I could to try and be reasonable and come to an understanding with this person. I spent days talking to them. And frankly, they made threats against moderators in the group that were not in any way attached to whatever was going on. And there was literally nothing I could do to get them to not continue to make threats and organize their audience to attack those people. And so eventually I just kind of had to say, like, we're at an impasse. I can't deal with somebody who would be so unprofessional as to dedicate so much of their time to hurting other people and to threatening other people. And it just goes against my values. And so that person and I couldn't come to an arrangement. Now, they said they had nothing against me in my group, although I understand that they may have said different things in different venues, but that's what they said to me privately. They said that they had a problem with 2 specific individuals, but they targeted more than just 2. And so, yeah, maybe they are making $5,000 a month. Good for them if they are. I wish it was going to a better person, but whatever. And I mean, I don't have much animosity to anybody. Frankly, I can't keep up. I can't stay angry for very long. It's not in my makeup. I get tired. I move on to other things. I just can't sustain a grudge. I just can't. But that having been said, I do want to protect people from threats, intimidation, attacks, things of that nature. This was definitely not a subject I was expecting to talk about. I thought this issue was gone months ago, and then it came back. I don't know why this person is continuing to pursue this negativity. And I'm at a loss. I don't know what winning looks like to them that doesn't involve hurting someone. And I just can't get behind that. Peaceful settlement, coming to understand each other's boundaries and respect them, and stay on your side of the fence. That's an okay outcome. Getting past that to be I am a huge Trekkie. I'm a giant Star Trek nerd. And so like Gene Roddenberry's philosophy about things really speaks to me in a lot of ways. And one of the things that they really kind of touch on a lot in that franchise is turning an enemy into a friend is, to me, the best potential outcome. You go to war with the Klingons, but as you understand them and appreciate them and gain respect, find common ground, work together in common cause, eventually become allies. Such like, what was it? There was a great line that Captain Pike had in a recent episode of Discovery, where the Ba'ul are saying that like, you'd risk your people for one Kelpian, and he says, this Kelpian is my people. And that getting to that point where you consider yourselves one and the same, where before you might have had a disagreement, I think is so important. And I think things like this can lead you in that direction. Understanding that can get you past some of the communication misunderstandings and barriers to a place where you can get there. And I don't think it's good to inject myself into that situation. If the person reaches out to me again, because I haven't blocked them or anything, I don't think. I can double check that. I'm open to communication, but it has to be productive. I won't engage in a back and forth. I won't try to hurt someone. It's just not how I want to spend my time. And this person is very publicly on Twitter and on Facebook, and even direct messages to me say they are out to hurt specific people. They want revenge. I can't fathom that mentality for long. There's moments where I feel it. Somebody attacks my credibility. Sure, I'll be mad for maybe a couple hours and want revenge. A day or two later, I can't work up the energy for such negative ends. I just can't. And the fact that this person has been after this for months is mind-blowing to me. More so than this number over here. I can fathom this number over here. It's shocking, but I can wrap my head around it in a way. One person for months wanting to hurt another person for whatever was done in the past, I don't understand it. I really struggle to put myself in their shoes. The best I can think is, and I don't want to talk in too much detail here, but I know that there was some video that was made, and that was partially to inform, but potentially to hurt, and I think it did. And so I think this person, my best theory, and I don't know much about what's going on, but the best I can fathom is that if they rewatch this video that hurt them on the regular, they are re-traumatizing themselves, and that is what's sustaining the anger. That's the best theory I can come to. Again, in ignorance. I don't know what's going on. And so it's easy to say move on, and it's so much harder a thing to do. I get that. I really do. But I guess if I had something to say, it would be this. If the person never was to, listen to anything I ever say again. It would be, and I actually tried to make this point several times in the conversation with this person, so I don't think it would land. But the conversation that I said is, I was like, be selfish. Be selfish for a moment. Anyone can ask you to, be the bigger person or move on, and that's harder. Be selfish. Be smart and be selfish. And so ask yourself, what's my return on investment by attacking somebody, by going into negativity? I know that there is an audience for drama. and things like that. I don't think that's generally the kind of content this person produces. So it's not in line with their brand. I think and I told them this. I told them privately, this hurts your brand. It makes you appear unprofessional. People will not want to work with you if they think that you will turn on them in such a way. Not that these people had a working relationship, but the fact that you could attack anyone like that opens up the possibility that you could attack me like that. If I, earned it or whatever by doing the wrong thing. Or having a sufficiently egregious misunderstanding. Be selfish. Look at the time you're investing. And what are you getting out of it? If this person's all about making $5,000 a month, great. They're not likely to be making much money off of this particular investment of their time, energy, or activity. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I want to help people succeed on YouTube. That is my why of my group. Engaging in this activity doesn't do that. And so I don't want to. So I wish I could fix it, but since my attempts did not work, I just would like to be left out of it. And it's weird because people come into our group saying it was recommended by this person. And this person swore to me that they were going to stage a campaign of telling people that my group was trash, even though they said they had nothing against my group. And they were going to tell people not to come to my group. I guess that gets to that old saying, if there's no such thing as negative publicity. I don't know. Maybe it's older videos or things that they posted that is still driving some people to the group. If it brings good people to a good resource, then okay, fine. Like the fact that we got there through a strange way makes me slightly uncomfortable, but whatever. We got to a good outcome. I'm fine with that. And so they did threaten my group in that sense. And if I was just about the numbers, that would maybe be a concern. I don't know. But it's weird. And so I just, don't get caught up in negativity, wherever it's coming from. And there's so many, there's motivational channels out there. Influence Magnet. I haven't checked out your stuff, but I imagine it's positive, right? I don't think anyone talks about the profit in vindictiveness. I don't think there's a good treatise that's been written about, the profit in revenge. I don't know. I think that it's generally accepted when we're calm that those things are ultimately self-defeating. And so I have no interest in, what was it in the Shaft movie? Mario Van Peebles is like stabbing himself right before attacking Shaft. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're about to get into a physical conflict and you're injuring yourself? He was upset, emotional, and it was probably an intimidation tactic as well. But I just never to this day really understood what that was all about. Maybe he was getting his adrenaline flowing? I don't know. But that's what this feels like sometimes. The self-inflicted wounds of this kind of conflict, of picking fights with other YouTubers and people in a community and stuff. I don't know. So those are some thoughts about that thing that I didn't want to talk about. I hope it doesn't add any fuel to the fire. It's the last thing that I want to do. But I am upset that, my current mod team are being painted with one brush. They are all very different people from all over the world. And I don't think they deserve it. I think we should judge people by people, not by unrelated other people. And I don't think we should stereotype groups of any kind as much as possible. And it's hard. We all do it, but we should resist the temptation. Let's see here. Trolls are a waste of energy. Well, that depends. I do say in the comment section of YouTube videos that trolls are a resource. They're a fuel. And here's the thing. Because the trolls viewed your video, so you got to view and watch time, and you got to comment, and a comment is engagement, and YouTube, for all of its interesting algorithm ability, I don't think it can tell a bad comment from a good comment, because context is so important and language is so unclear that I don't think that it knows hate from love as it relates to the comments. Likes and dislikes, and as everybody knows, even a dislike can help you because it's engagement. It made your audience feel something enough that they took action. Even if it was a dislike, that actually helps your channel more than not clicking anything. A like is even better, of course. But here's the thing about trolls. They gotta get the last word. Let's use this. So reply to the trolls. That is actually my advice. Every hate comment, reply. And they will come back. and they will watch your video again, and you'll get more watch time and more views as they reply, and you'll get more engagement, and all of these things prime the algorithm and help your video succeed. The people that hate you will be pushing you forward. Talk about turning an enemy into a friend. They don't even know it's happened. With an important caveat. People are watching. Amnesty International says that when people are watching, hate crimes are less likely to be created or committed. And so I think that's true. And so keep in mind that. So when somebody comes at you with hate, don't respond in kind. Respond with information, perhaps, or sweetness and love. A little taming of the shrew, if you will. Let's kill them with kindness. A little Shakespeare for you. Why not? With my tongue in your... No, never mind. But the thing that I'm saying here is so... you know, maybe some comments don't fuel fire if it's like physical threats. People have threatened to murder me and my family in the comment sections on videos. I do not reply to those. I just leave them. YouTube eventually finds them on their own, and they often end up disappearing as a result, but I don't even bother reporting them. Not worth my time. I don't get anything out of it. But if it's just something like, you know, hey, Baldy, you don't know what you're talking about. Not a lot to work with there. So I'll probably reply with, always great to meet a fan. So it might be funny, or I don't know, it might come off as totally ignorant or welcoming or whatever. That person is only one of the people that will see it. Your rest of your audience could see it. And so it's good to remember that. So if you get into something like, if I came back with, no, you're the a-hole, that's not good. That's a bad look. And that's not the culture and an atmosphere I'm trying to create. But if I come back with a little snarky, like, oh, it's good to meet a fan. And then they're going to come back, well, I'm not your fan. Don't you understand English, a-hole? Whatever. I'm just benefiting from it the more they do it. Use them. Use them. Use the trolls. That's my advice. Just remember that you've got a broader audience than just them when you're responding. And sometimes informational. Like, I get more hate on my Six Flags video on Vacation Impossible than anything else. And people are like, oh, you didn't read the rules or their signs or whatever. And I'll say, like, this was filmed in November of 2014 before there were signs. So I'm providing information. And I might even like extend myself a little and say something like, I hope that maybe this video in some small way led to this messaging being more clear. Something like that. And they might come back with hate and they might not. But information or kill them with kindness is my recommendation of how to respond to trolls. But do, because it helps you. And it wastes their time to your advantage. Plus, plus, plus. No downside. As long as it's not mentally, emotionally, spiritually harmful to you. In which case, just leave it. That cost is too high. No matter how amazing you are, people will always have bad things to say. Don't even acknowledge them. Yeah, that is acceptable, but I do have my little Machiavellian strategy that you can take if you would like. I unleashed verbally in one of my videos because some people were twisting my words and saying things that I never said. That's what I'm talking about. I feel you. I feel you on that. Please review my thumbnails. I'm curious about your expert view. Thank you for calling me an expert. I'm not sure I deserve the title, but I'm not going to say no to a compliment because Andrew Matthews has taught me better. I do highly recommend the works of Andrew Matthews. Helps you respond to compliments, if that's the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Used to for me. I'm better at it now. Compliment is a gift. You don't refuse a gift. But I'm winding things down, so I don't want to get into reviews. We're getting close to dinner time around here, so I need to kind of get my Vacation Impossible video out and then have dinner. So I'll be wrapping things up. Where in Canada are you? We're in Toronto. I'm in Vancouver. I have visited Toronto twice. It's been a long time, though. But yeah, I'm in Vancouver. Power of now. People are crazy. Yep. I ran into some sub-for-subbers that just didn't know how bad it was for the channel. Well, and that's the thing, is if I can like communicate with them in an effective way, then maybe they can learn something from it. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Messages. Okay. Let's see. Do you want to put pictures up and now I'm posting videos? That's cool. I like that. Super weird to post videos. Hate seeing and hearing myself. But I guess everyone gets used to that, right? I can't speak for everyone. Like in high school, I was a stage performer. I did improvisational comedy for 4 years, captained a team for 2, made it to provincial quarterfinals those 2 years I was captain. We got whooped at quarterfinals, though, by really talented people. It was an honor to be beat by them. And so for me, I've largely been comfortable with those things for most of my life. I've always been kind of comfortable in front of a camera. I don't know if that comes across as a humble brag or not. It's just a fact. But I know a lot of people struggle with it. And so I think that experience breeds comfort and competence. And remembering that when it comes to YouTube, you are in so much control. You control the sound. What's that old Outer Limits? We control the vertical and the horizontal. And so you're editing it. You control these things. You control what you post and what you don't. You can set things to private or whatever. And just acknowledge your power and realize that you're in control. And hopefully that helps. And beyond that, repetition. And it just gets easier. One of the things, again, Star Trek nerd, William Shatner is known for his overacting and random pauses every third word. And so when they would, which film was it? I think it might have been Star Trek 4, one of the most popular ones. No, it was Star Trek 2, I think. Nick Mayer. Nick Mayer worked on that. I think he directed it. Nicholas Mayer said that the way you get a good performance out of William Shatner is you tire him out. You might have to shoot the shot 48 or 67 times, but by the time he gets tired, he'll give you a normal, natural human performance because he is just too tired to ham it up and eat the scenery. And so that might be true of people for other reasons too. Eventually you'll get exhausted and tired of being nervous, and I think you'll move past it that way. But you might have to tire yourself out, and it might take 100 videos. It might take a lot. It depends. I don't know. I still hate certain things that I do. John from Stupid Robot Fighting League is so nice, and he often compliments me because I almost never say which is nice, and that's something I had to work at. But everyone, I think, has verbal crutches, and mine is the word so. S-O. Say it too much. And when I'm editing my podcast or a video and I hear myself say it 3 times in 60 seconds, I just want to reach through the microphone, time and space, and strangle myself. And I don't know that feeling ever gets any better. I wish I could say it does. So I don't know. But try to focus on the positive. Realize that there's strengths that you have, and try to focus on those more than anything else. Do you use anything to collect emails for free? No, I've been advised that I should build an email list. I've asked in the group a couple of times if people would be interested in a newsletter. Response was mixed, more positive than I expected, but still not overwhelming. I don't know. I might one day, but right now I'm not collecting emails. I'm open to ideas. Vancouver's the nicest. Okay, well, looks like things came to an okay place with King Jace, which is good. Sorry for the frustration, but yeah, things are what they are. Limited time being what it is. Is Amazon the worst for the virus? I had no idea. Tucson is a fire up in the mountains. Oh, they got a fire too? Man. Channel trailer reviews. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I think if somebody wanted me to review a video, that would have to be a paid activity, and I probably wouldn't post it publicly. Yeah. Don't know what I'd charge for that. I haven't done that before. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter if that's the thing you'd be interested in. But yeah, just because I'd be playing the video, I don't think I'd be comfortable putting a video that includes another person's video up on my channel or anywhere else. But I would be happy to do something. Maybe I could type up a response or record something without the video, just my reaction. Or we could do like a live chat. I've done some consulting. So we could work out an hourly thing, maybe? I don't know. That's an interesting idea. DeFreeze Aquariums says thumbs up and waving emoji. There was a video that Mel posted that mentioned her. I had no idea. Don't have any involvement with her or the incident. Boy, I wish it were true of me as well. I'm on the periphery. It just happened in my space, and I didn't want it to. Only ever heard positive things about my group. Thank you. That's very nice. It's so diverse, and you can get all sorts of opinions. Yeah, and one of the things, just full disclosure, that I'm pushing for in the mod team is I want a little bit more diversity. I don't think that the gender or racial split mirrors what the group looks like. I would like it if the mod group looked more like the group itself as a representative sample. Because I've heard good things about MailChimp as well. And I've heard, Yeah, I've heard good things about Kajabi as well because Roberto Blake talks about it, but I don't know too much. I replied to trolls with the GIF of the Trolls movie. Nice. So yeah, I mean, and the thing is I think that we really do benefit. Like when Shivam joined, that gave us some useful insight to sort of like the experience from India. And we recently got someone who speaks and reads fluent Tagalog, which is important too. I now know, because I was asking people, like, why do you keep putting the word po all over the place 6 times in a sentence? And they said it was like the answer I got from members, not to sound elitist or anything, was that, oh, it denotes enthusiasm. But then when we brought on this mod and he and I had a chat about it, he said, no, it's a sign of respect. And so if it's 6 times in one sentence, they're overdoing it and being obsequious. I'm like, okay, because that makes their sentence incredibly hard to read. But without having those perspectives, God knows what I would have assumed. So yeah. It was the only female. Did I hire you? I'm trying to remember. Or was that when the group was run by Alexis? Because there was because the group was, and that was the funny thing, is that the group was made by a female. So we really should have a little bit more representation in the mod group, I think. Anyways, so I think that we'll probably call things to a close. I thought that the po was to be polite. Yeah. Did I say your name wrong? Sasha? Am I saying that right? I know it's you. I'm just trying to remember if I hired you or not. My memory is, like, I don't know, not great. I think the way that my memory works is that I remember what people care about, what makes them laugh. I'll remember what makes you laugh, but I won't remember what your major was in school. And so hopefully that's not disrespectful. Never knew Alexis. Okay, it was me. Okay, cool. Hey, I made a good hire. I'll take credit for that one. Anyways, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. 250,000. I don't know where this thing is going. I really don't. But I gotta believe that it's somewhere great. That it's somewhere good. The strength of the group has always been its members. So more members makes for a stronger group, I would think. More, again, diverse perspectives and opinions. I think good ideas can come from absolutely anywhere. Oh, I always try to end with an action item. What would be a good action item? Okay, here you go. Since I am Ray from Vacation Impossible, I try to end each one of these live streams with a call to action, a specific thing that you can do. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to, right after this live stream, if you don't have Twitter, go sign up for an account in the name of your channel. And if you do have Twitter, go do something on Twitter. Go tweet about something. Go share this live stream or this channel if you want. Or, promote your own channel. Or go just like and retweet something else. Go follow somebody that you like or respect on Twitter. Engage on that platform as well. Just to make sure that you're not putting all of your eggs into the YouTube basket. If YouTube goes down, how are you going to reach your audience? Twitter is one of the places that people go for information, for good or ill. And so that is your mission if you choose to accept it. As well, we will be having another live stream tomorrow, but I can't tell you when because I don't know. So we'll hopefully get a few more channel reviews in. If you want a paid one, reach out to me on Twitter or Facebook. And yeah, hopefully we can get some more freebies in tomorrow. More fun live stream action tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you in the Facebook group. This live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds.